Hello, and welcome to GeekSpaceTV. You're here to watch the final episode of A Manner of Speaking to the Point. A sense, and sensibility, sense, and swordsmanship RPG.
We're incensed.
There is no sense in this place.
A senseless escapades of our masked and potentially caped crusaders here tonight upon this very channel. Hi, everybody, and welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. If you are new and joining us, we are GeekSpaceTV, a nonprofit broadcasting studio in the Seattle area, and we're very excited to present the final installment of A Manner of Speaking to the Point, which is based off of the Good Society RPG. Well, it's using sense, sensibility, and swordsmanship, which is based off of the Good Society RPG. It's basically Jane Austen mashed together with masked vigilantes and heroes and outlaws and bounty hunters and so on and so forth. I think several people at this table would be offended if I referred to their characters as vigilantes, so I did not.
No, I'm okay with that.
You're fine with that. You're a vigilante?
I am an extrajudicial officer of justice.
Okay.
I can also be referred to as proper criminal.
I'm just a straight up criminal, is what I'm hearing. So tonight is the final episode. If you have missed the other episodes, you can catch up with them on our YouTube channel. But stick around, it will definitely be fun. You will catch on very, very quickly. In the meantime, I have some other reminder announcements for you. This week, tomorrow, that's how the days work. We will not be streaming an RPG tomorrow evening. I believe we're still doing Wind Down, potentially.
Probably
Maybe.
not.
Probably not. Okay, never mind. Retract that statement. Throw it away, you never heard it. However, we will be hosting Geek and Sundry at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time because I will be running Weave Society on Geek and Sundry. So it'd be great if you came and watched that. So that's happening tomorrow night, and then the following week we will be starting EPK on Monday night. We'll be continuing. Tuesday night we will have no show, although technically there will be bodies here, as GeekSpace is kind enough to host the Celestial Rangers. And then the following day, you said yes to that. You didn't. Okay, cool.
You have now.
Yeah, I mean, I had totally forgotten about it until like earlier today,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh yeah, I did say I would do that.
It's just on the scale.
fine.
All right, no,
I know
it's
how to work
fine.
these
It's fine.
computers.
Everything is fine.
And then on Wednesday, we will be premiering our brand new show using the Monty Cook The Strange system called Worlds Beyond, in which our intrepid group of explorers go about the extra-dimensional space and try to stop the Earth from being consumed by vast monsters from the deep. Of, like, the dark space, not like the deep ocean. Basically the same thing. Both are terrifying and fill me full of existential dread. Excellent! In the meantime, we also now have a better, smoother, quicker, faster, leaner way of submitting your fan art. If you would like to submit fan art that you have created for any and all of our shows, all you need to do is include hashtag GSFanart, and we will find that on the Twitters. We can on Instagram, but Twitter is easier.
Instagram's fine too.
And then you can also, if you tag us, definitely helps us see it. And all you need to do if you'd like to get credit is fill out the form that we have in our Discord one time. I think you can also grab the form in our chat, probably by !fanart, and then fill out that form one time, and then we can credit you for all your images. If not, we'll just throw up your Twitter handle on there.
And if you've already filled it out, you don't need to do it again.
Yes, it's the same form. Hasn't changed.
Yeah, it's literally the same form.
Okay. And then the final announcement is if you really like Good Society and you didn't back the Kickstarter, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't have, but it happens to the best of us, you can in fact acquire a PDF version of it already. Now, it's available today. It dropped in many people's inboxes if you did back it on Kickstarter. So go check your email if you don't have it. But if you have backed it on Kickstarter or haven't backed it, then you can also acquire it for yourself over at the Story Brewers website, because they are a wonderful duo who made this most delightful game. So with that, let us have our players introduce themselves, starting with...
Hi, I'm Anna Geeks. I am the CEO here at GeekSpaceTV, and I am also a variety broadcaster on my own channel. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Anna Geeks, and on Instagram at AnnaGeeksAFK, where I've been posting pictures from my recent trip to Scotland. Also, I will be doing Wind Down soon, but we kind of need to figure out when is a good time for that. And mostly I want to ask all of you when a good time for that is. So we're going to have that conversation in like the Discord or on the Twitters or something, and I haven't had the time or the bandwidth to figure that one out. So that's coming soon. And I am playing Countess Eleanor Sharp. That's really about all you need to know about her, is that she's a countess. And she likes to stab things.
Yeah, and that's the only relevant detail at all.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Breakfast burrito.
What? I am...
Somebody in chat said Princess Chorizo. Breakfast burrito.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lizzie the Bold.
Learn.
And I like this teacup. Let me read you what it says.
Pepperidge
The
Farm.
cucumber is nature's telescope. With it, we see the universe. I'm not making that up. That is literally what is on this teacup.
The cucumber.
The cucumber.
The cucumber.
Are you sure that's not a translation error?
No, it is the cucumber.
In cucumberus veritas.
Are you sure cucumberus doesn't translate to something different? Like, maybe?
There's some tea in this as well. And I am playing... who the fuck am I playing? Thomas and Crawford. Y'all, it's been a day, alright? I don't want to hear it. I play Thomas and Crawford, the wealthy heiress, orphan by day, vigilante by night, righter of wrongs, slayer of demons. I don't know. Who knows? You don't know. This is only a 4-part show. And also, I suppose that we are related in some capacity, and there's some slight animosity, or perhaps, I don't know, waning animosity. Who knows? Let's find out tonight. Who are you? Save me.
Thank you for that foreplay of words. It has excited me. I don't know either. I actually dipped into the candy corn again. Hi, I'm Salad. I am here from the internet. You can find me on at Level 23 on Twitch, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. It's whatever it is on the internet. It probably has that name. And yeah, I'm here playing Harriet McNamara, the little thief that could, stealing all the things that little crimey crime's heart can do. Because tonight, I have high hopes that I drew an illustration so everyone could see. This is me, and this is the diamond, and we're in love. And that's how today's gonna
I feel
work.
like it could be greener.
It could be greener, but I'm just so lost in it. There's sparkles. There's little sparkles. I don't know, like little sparkles and stuff. Like everything's really exciting. No, wait, this isn't that show. I'm sorry. Who are you?
I have no clue anymore. Hey everyone, my name is Algernon Bolden. You kept me out, Algernon Bolden, and I'm playing Leopold Hawthorne tonight, who is a dowager, recently returned to Britain after the departure of his wife. Secretly, though, he is a secret agent for the British Crown, the Falconer, and we've learned some really dark secrets about his handler, Mr. Thomas Wallingford. Oh, sorry, Sir Thomas, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Falconeer.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're the only one saying no to that, so.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, AJ.
I'm really okay with it.
And I am Random Tuesday. I will be your facilitator for this evening, as well as taking on the role of the Dove, whose alter ego is Catherine Lansdowne, a young woman who living in the household of the Viscount Charles Lansdowne, a rather unpleasant individual who has his eyes upon the Dresden Green, the most beautiful diamond you have ever seen. I did not intend that rhyme, but it happened. The Dresden Green has been, I will now summarize. I'm just double checking. I did get his name correct. Let me summarize what has happened so far. We have learned that a diamond known as the Dresden Green has now arrived in the city of Bath. It had been transported here by the company owned by the one Countess Eleanor Sharp. It was successfully delivered to the Earl of Somerset, who lives in a manor near Bath, who intends to gift this diamond to the monarch, who will be attending a ball at the Earl's estate. In celebration of the monarch's birthday, of course, in which the diamond will be gifted to them. Now, There is an individual in town known as Charles Lansdowne, Viscount Charles Lansdowne, who intends to get all his hands upon his grubby little hands upon the Dresden Green and use it to blackmail the Earl into letting him marry his very eligible young daughter. One individual known as the Dove, she has decided, no, that's not okay. And so she intends to steal the diamond instead and ensure that the Viscount never gets his hands on it. Well, I guess she intended to stop the Viscount from getting his hands on it, and has since fallen in line with one known as the Starling, alter ego Harriet McNamara, who is a thief and definitely wants to steal the diamond and intends to make a lot of money by stealing the diamond. Now, Harriet is also being chased down by the Nighthawk. Nighthawk. She was a Nightbird, changed her name to the Starling. The Nighthawk, vowed, sworn enemy of the Starling, intends to stop them, but the Dove has managed to convince both the Nighthawk and the Falcon that maybe they should at least help prevent the Viscount from getting his hands upon the Dresden Green, and they seem somewhat amicable to this arrangement. Meanwhile, I believe the Countess has several people on her bucket list of people she would like to destroy, and has also agreed to somewhat help the Dove in preventing the Viscount from getting his hands on the diamond. So that brings us to a rooftop phase. Now, we begin every cycle of play, every novel chapter, I should say, every cycle of play before our novel chapter is a rooftop phase, where we can live out the machinations and various daring deeds of our masked personas, or our characters' masked personas. I believe there are a couple of individuals who had some plans. One individual who had a fairly significant plan for this evening. We will say this evening is perhaps just a few days before the ball, perhaps maybe a week even before the ball that will be taking place at the Earl of Somerset's manor. So I know Harriet McNamara, the Starling, has a plan. Did anyone else have scenes so I can kind of determine which ones should be going first? I have one for the Dove that can be entirely separate. Whether or not I guess my question is would the Starling have informed the Dove of her plans for this evening, or is she purely working with her sister?
Purely working with her sister.
Okay. Anyone else have things that they're going to want to do? Or they want to find out what others want to do?
Doesn't work nearly as well in the mask.
Nose goes. Nose goes.
Oh,
You don't have to have something. I just want to make sure, because I'll do the Dove scene, and because it'll be fairly short, and it may affect some other people. So
The
we'll.
Nighthawk will be doing her standard rounds about that.
Her nightly.
There will be reason if you choose to, for your characters to spend a resolve token and appear in either of these two scenes. Actually, to realistically just appear in either of these two scenes, and we'll kind of negotiate. We may end up doing the actual full negotiation process of the various daring deeds. So, the Dove. An individual dressed all in white. White trousers. Yep, that fits. Perfect, perfect. White trousers, a cape with a white hood, and feathers around its edges.
So secretive.
Very stealthy. You see, people think that black is stealthy, but no,
'Twas but a cloud that drifted by.
it's England. There's lots of clouds.
Tis the
A
mist.
moonbeam, the mist. There's a lot of
Tis
mist.
the fog.
It
What's
rises from the
burning?
baths.
But mummy, it burns.
Dashes between the alleys and the streets, climbs across the rooftops, and makes her way to a one Thomason Crawford's estate. There, she climbs down, goes through the window into the study of the Crawford estate. Now, would you say that would the Nighthawk be there, or is it perhaps empty?
Is it late in the eve? Or would she have gone there like first thing?
It's probably somewhat early, but definitely after dark. I'd say it's before midnight.
You're looking for a die.
Trying to determine. Well, let me continue.
Pick any evens or odds.
The Dove will be rummaging through the various.
You said odds?
Yes.
Okay. She is in the house, not in the study.
Okay. The Dove will begin rummaging through the various pieces of paper, the notes, the journals, anything she can find in the study. And I am going to spend a resolve token for this from the Dove. She is specifically looking, based on the information that she was given by the Starling, for any evidence of who Thomason might be.
All right. Then I am going to spend a resolve token. She, let's see. In a different room in her stately Crawford Manor. Go ahead.
So I will say, I'm spending a resolve token. This is a negotiation in terms of, I would like the Dove to figure out who Nighthawk's
I see.
identity is.
I see.
I would like, yeah, we can
Okay.
do your resolve
To
token in a
resolve-
second.
okay. Yes, I see.
But I would like the Dove to find out what the Nighthawk's secret identity is, that she is in fact Thomason Crawford.
I will accept your resolve token.
Okay. Do you have any conditions?
My condition is that Thomason is going to walk in on her
Excellent.
at the dramatic moments after she has figured it out.
I accept this condition. So we see the Dove rifle through a piece of paper. What would she find that would lead her to confirm Thomason's identity?
In the study, she will find a ledger, and in this ledger are a few things. It is an accounting ledger, and amongst the standard items that would have to be spent in order to maintain the estate, there are also quite peculiar things such as weaponry, one would not expect. Knowing that she does not have that many new dresses every year, she also spent a fair amount at a very suspicious time in Bath in the last year on textiles. And then
Is there like a
interspersed-
receipt for a specific person that makes all of the masked identities
Totally.
like clothing
and
in
then
the city?
and then interspersed in with the ledger, there are also plans for the mask and costume, which Thomason constructed herself.
Okay. As she does that, she flips to a page, and you see her like behind the mask, her eyes open wide, and she goes, "Thomason, you're the Nighthawk." And then, beat after that,
moment.
Thomason unlocks the door very quietly. I assume Thomason opens the door, and the Dove just stands there and looks up.
Opens the door. Well then.
Hurriedly places the pieces of paper back onto the table.
Imagine that's somewhat useless at this point. Wait.
I guess you are technically
Yes.
Thomason right now. What do you mean?
Going through my things, Dove?
I was perusing.
She walks in and kind of stalks across the perimeter of the room, rounding on the Dove slowly.
So, her hand definitely goes
Towards her hip.
Towards her.
Find anything interesting?
Plenty.
And what is it that you intend to do with this information?
Simply have it right now.
You put me in quite the predicament.
And what do you intend to do about this?
In my experience, you've been a rather honorable person in your own sort of way. Perhaps we do not always see eye to eye, but I think in the matters that truly matter, we have. Do you intend to turn this information over to the authorities, Dove?
Oh, and at that she actually laughs. Like a genuine, what reason do I have to trust the authorities? Why would I turn them over to you?
Do you intend to turn this information over to the Starling? Or to the Falconer?
The Falconer is the authorities, a greater authority than I like. The Starling and I have a working relationship right now. And I owe you more than you know.
Then I can trust your discretion.
Yes. You can trust me. as I have trusted you in the past.
Then I will do nothing.
And Dev sort of backs up, goes to the window, vanishes into the night like a moonbeam.
Last episode's worse because he wanted to use a monologue. Was like, is there a juicier moment for the
Mm, that's true. That's true. Well,
I'm going to use a monologue token then. I'm going to use mine on
On the
you.
dove?
Yes, on the dove.
She drifts into the night, perches upon a rooftop, and stares longingly into the darkness and the stars. Perhaps I should have told her. Thomason is, after all, my best friend, perhaps my only friend. I don't intend to give this information to the Starling. I can only imagine what she would do with it, and I certainly wouldn't give it over to the Falcon. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I have very little upper body strength. Despite all the climbing I do. No. I don't know why Thomason had to don a mask. Though I suppose it's no different than myself. I chose this as much as she did. She's my best friend, and I lied to her. She lied to me. Perhaps the two of us could have done so much more if we'd only worked together. Perhaps I should confront her and bring her onto my side, if she's willing. I think we can do great things for this world. I think we can. And then she disappears again.
Like a moonbeam.
Like a moonbeam.
In the mist.
In the mist.
A cloud
It is a
floating
foggy
away.
night.
It is a dark and foggy night.
Except with the moon.
Every night is foggy, and every night is not that dark. It's moonlit. A moonlit, foggy night.
Come to bed, people.
So, with that,
Taking the waters.
All right.
where do we find the Starling?
So it has been a long week of planning, and there's probably a small montage, if you will. A Victorian montage. It's like a reel.
Crackle, 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 crackle.
I don't think they actually had that then. Not sure.
It's
Either
just
way,
a series of photographs.
it's just a series of photographs that are being picked up one at a time. And what you see in those is preparation by the Starling and her sister, gathering items, scoping out this lovely Earl of Somerset's house, getting information, getting taking all the clues that they had put together from sneaking in and figuring out where everything was and who and what was where, as well as getting replicas of the jewel made. I don't know how good they are, but they're certainly replicas.
Okay.
And she's going to make her way with her sister to the Earl of Somerset's house, but on the way, drop a note at the tree saying, "Hello, everyone. Don't forget your boxes that I gave you, and meet me here at the 1 o'clock hour. We have much to discuss."
As in tonight.
As in tonight.
I assume they all see this note written upon the note-sending tree. And the dove will...
During this
Open
time,
her box and
she's
certainly
going
be
to
there.
go make an attempt to steal this diamond with her sister
Okay.
to this evening, this very eve.
So you're planning on doing it before the 1 o'clock hour. And then meeting up with
Absolutely.
her.
It is still quite early in the evening. It's probably about, she left about the same time. Early-ish.
All right. So you make your way over to the Earl's estate. It's probably just outside of the city of Bath, like certainly close enough for a short carriage ride
Absolutely.
to the nicer areas. And quietly, in the dark of the night, sneak your way up to the building.
We're going to bring our servant, kind of standard of fare.
How do you plan on stealing this diamond? He has guards posted. Naturally.
Well, in all that we've read about it, he certainly has guards everywhere. but he's been quite ill.
He has been. This is true.
And
He's
so-
recovering.
He's definitely recovering, but, with all the festivities being planned for the party so soon, there's so many new servants and people there getting ready for this fun affair. So she intends with her sister to get into the house wearing servant's clothing and make her way to the portion of the house where that diamond is being kept now.
Okay.
The bit of mystery is that she doesn't know exactly where in said area of the house it's being kept or how it's being locked up. That's about it.
Okay. So, generally speaking, with a sort of daring deed, unless someone wants to interfere, this just happens if you spend a resolve token.
I'm spending a resolve token.
If another player wants to enter into the scene and somehow stop this from happening, then we can go into what each of them would be doing and figure out how you would interact with each other.
Yes, but I would like her to spend a resolve token and go in there and replace the diamond with the copy and then head back out.
My only caveat is that on delivery, it was verified that
You have been paid.
yeah, but also it has been verified that it was legitimate when it was delivered.
Yes.
That's so it can't be pinned on me retroactively or anything like that. So.
Gold foiled bronze looks just as good as gold. And glass is the next best thing to a girl's best friend, just not
So
this
unless
girl.
there is any interference, spend your resolve token and narrate to me how Harriet enters the estate and acquires this diamond with the help, of course, of her sister.
Sister, are you ready?
Of course I am. Do you think I get to pick a name after tonight?
Oh, most definitely.
Is
I
this
don't
one
see
of
why
those-
not.
You get to enter in, and once you've done your first crimey-wimey, you get to namey-namey.
You absolutely get to name an Amy, and it's up to you.
Wait.
I'm very excited for you, sister.
Does it
This is a
have to
big
be-
moment.
Does it have to be bird-themed?
No.
Are you doing this like
I'm
while
pretty
it's
sure
stealing
that
stuff?
Oh no, we're
This is like the walk-up.
no,
there.
we're so we've now walked our way in. We've just portrayed servants in there, and we're in
Yeah.
said kitchen, like making a pie or something for the
Yeah.
evening,
Yeah.
the late evening making pies. Yes, of course you get to
Kneading
pick a
the
name.
bread.
Of course you get to pick a name. I don't know. You don't just not have to be bird themed. I don't know why everyone in this town is bird themed.
Why did you change yours?
I never really picked one. People
Oh.
did.
Oh, so will I be given a name?
Oh, you could.
Oh. Does that mean you're famous or you're infamous if you're given a name?
Possibly.
Okay. And punches some more, punch more bread.
Don't worry, sister. You will get there. I will make sure of it.
She puts the bread up to rise.
But-
Oh, I know.
We must figure out tonight where this diamond is. We've talked to a few of the servants, and I think we have a small
Yeah.
idea with the room
I think
they
if we get the butler drunk, he'll spill it.
Most excellent. Bring him some drinks right away. Let's fortify them.
She pours way more alcohol.
Just a little bit of ether in there
Yeah,
as well.
this should work.
It's fine.
And then comes back like 3 minutes later. Right. So I asked
Right.
him. He got very drunk. He might be unconscious right now. Don't know.
It's not important.
He said it's down in the second inning. She like gives directions to a bunch of rooms.
All right. Let's make our way down there with a bed tray, just in case. We'll be like, oh, we're lost. Bringing tea to something.
So that you carry the tea down. You continue down the corridors.
Just some trays of tea and a little...
Oh, what about the guards? Why don't we just drug them?
That's an excellent idea, sister. You're getting the hang of this.
I really like drugging people. It's very easy.
See, I think you're getting a knack for this. Perhaps that could be part of your name. And so maybe the both of us roll up to them and bring them tea fortified with more ethery goodness. Just
pour
watch them
ether.
drop.
Serve them some tea. Though. Oh, boom.
And then we place them upright, holding their tea.
Yeah.
So they're at least, when they wake up, they must go, oh, we must have had a snooze.
Yeah, you just prop them up on like the table and then like arrange the cards so they look like they continue their gambling. Mm-hmm.
And so, it is in this room. Yes, our prize. We're nearly there, sister. Nearly there.
Question: is the Countess's pirate, was that used?
Is the what?
The
What?
Countess is a pirate. Was that particular
No.
result? I'm gonna spin that now. for this particular scene.
Oh wait, no, I
I think it was.
think I have it crossed off.
Yeah, I thought-
Yeah,
you-
okay,
it
apologies.
faded.
Or,
Okay.
Yeah, that one got expired. It faded.
Oh no, Eleanor has pirate affiliation. That's still
Oh,
on there.
Eleanor has association
okay.
with pirates.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, it's
It
still
exists.
live.
Okay, I'm gonna spin that marker. You
Okay.
guys are gonna say because of the rumors of a pirate lurking, especially one who might be handling it, there are extra traps in the room. Not necessarily guards, but if you're gonna have a heist, no
There are
lasers,
traps.
There are traps, and
tell
very
me-
obvious ones.
Tell me about these traps. What traps are there? They have to be like period appropriate.
It's not lasers,
traps.
but there are.
There is a bucket of
Lasers.
water above the door.
No, there are
What you got?
very visible silk strands, and as you see them, they're each attached to bells. One is even attached to a sword on the other hand, and this looks like
go down.
this doesn't look like a professional. This looks like the Viscount himself has done it because he's a genius, and so he and his
You mean
servants.
the
The
Earl?
Earl.
The
The
Earl
Earl,
of
sorry,
Somerset
yeah.
is apparently a piratical
Are they
genius.
obvious enough that that I would see them?
I think you would. I don't think your sister might because they're very.
Eleanor, it looks like she's, or Elsa, I should say, looks like she's about to just barge forward.
Sister, no.
And she's like right in the middle, and there's just a bunch of crisscrossing ones that somehow she stepped over.
Do not move
Oh,
at
no.
all.
Did I do something wrong?
No.
What's going
no.
on?
Just stay very.
Are we playing a game?
Yes, we are.
Is this like that game you used to do when we were children?
Yes.
Where you'd
yes,
punch
sister.
me afterwards?
No, I'm not going to punch you this time, sister. You don't make me laugh, sister. And she reaches in, pulls over some dust, and just kind of blows it around the sister. No, hold it.
I can't move, but I need to.
Now look with your eyes, sister. What do you see? Do you see the lines?
Oh, there's just string
As the
everywhere.
dust starts to settle on all the little silk lines.
Okay, I think I can do this.
This one is trapped.
Is that a sword?
It is a sword. It's a bloody sword.
You're gonna stab me!
I know. That's why
just a
that's why I told you
thief.
to say stop.
This game ends
Don't
with-
worry. A few of these, and you'll be used to this in no time.
Right.
Just remember that trick. It's the
Heisting
dust. It's the
Heisting
dust.
is harder than I thought.
Oh, it's a lot of work, but it's very
Right.
satisfying work.
Right.
Okay, let us creepily move.
Move
like
through
this
all
weird
of these
Victorian
like
disco.
silk string. They'd like tie up their skirts and stick the landing on the other side.
And then we make it to how is it?
It's probably in like a lockbox of some kind. The box would need some sort of key.
It's a good thing we don't need keys, sister.
Tell me, how do you get around
Good
needing
thing.
keys?
And then she just pulls out one of the starling pins and another one and just starts to work. But Elsa's like, sister, no, you must learn this. And then teaches her, gives her a little lesson at the same time. It's like, yes, as it clicks open, and we see this wonderful, beautiful
Nestled on a
diamond.
beautiful red velvet pillow.
Sister, did you bring it?
Oh, yeah. She's been wearing the fake the entire time.
Excellent.
And no one's.
So
Underneath.
switch it in is like, it's not quite, but it still looks pretty convincing, don't you say?
Them next to each other. You're like, if you're drunk enough, I think it might work.
Oh, hang on, I brought another one. Does this one look any better?
Yeah, that one's a bit better.
A, B, A, B?
Let's go with A.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we put A in there in the same fashion. Click it down. Box locks again. We get the good one. Give you the good one. Hang on to it, sister. Very carefully. And I'll grab the fake one, the extra fake one,
The super fake one.
the super fake one, and then we'll just slowly make our way back out of the threads. We'll check on our little companions that we drugged. Wander back out to the house.
Leave them some water just in case.
Yeah, I have a bit of bit of tea while we were there,
Yeah, sure. Drink some of their tea.
and we will
Not the
leave.
drug tea.
Authorized tea.
And we will leave. I will go ahead and leave one of the boxes that I gave everybody, a similar box with one of the fakes in it, in the house, and just outside the house in the bushes.
Okay.
And then we will make our way. I was like,
So
"Sister,"
you're leaving a fake diamond in the bushes outside of the Earl's estate.
outside of the Earl's estate.
Okay.
Wait, no, sorry, that one needs to come with me. I apologize.
Okay. You have a very elaborate plan, and I don't know what all of it is, and I enjoy that you have planned this much.
I unfortunately
Crime
had a very interesting dream about this whole finale, and it's totally messed up my brain.
If I knew some Ocean's 8
You know, for later.
soundtrack music,
I was.
I would hum it.
I was. So, I said to Sister, bring this back to our place.
The real
our
one.
secret place. The real one.
To the secret place, not
The
just
secret
the secret place. Right.
And pack everything.
All right.
Call the coach. You know, the one we arranged last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send everything to London.
Including the real one.
Yeah, we should make it gone post-haste.
It will be done.
Excellent.
She scarpers off
And
into
start
the night.
thinking about your name.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like the High Flyer or something like that.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of catchy.
Yeah. Not sure it's quite right. And she disappears into the darkness.
And I disappear
And
off to the
monologue
tree.
taken.
Oh, man. Okay.
You're welcome.
Dear Book of Internal Crimes, because I don't have you in front of me right now. It's like that for probably about 20 minutes while she's kind of riding back, trying not to, just lose her mind, but having the most fantastic little wishful fantasies about her and this diamond walking on a beach, having a good time, hanging out, drinking tea, and then reality kind of snaps in. She goes, did we do it? We actually did it. We actually got the diamond. I feel empty. I don't know why. I don't know why it wasn't as satisfying as I thought. Although my sister, she did so well. I'm so proud of her. Like, beyond proud of her. Oh, I cannot wait to steal more with her. But I can't help this longing of... It just doesn't feel right. I know what to do. I think we should steal everything we possibly can from this royal idiot that's going to show up. Yes. Yes, we'll show them what a master thief can do. And she starts losing herself in the belligerence of her own narcissistic enjoyment of how successful that event was.
And
And
she have like a laugh, like a mwah.
it's just like you're just riding through the forest. You just hear like and just like carried on the wind. It's just terrible. And then she makes her way to the tree. She can't think about anything else. She's just trying to get her head back in the game on the plan, and trying to figure out how to rope everyone into the next section because she knows it's going to be quite difficult. Not sure if all of them can be trusted. Certainly not the Falconeer. But the other two definitely have warmed its place in her heart. Surprisingly so. She thought she couldn't trust anyone other than her sister. It kind of fades to her going to the tree.
Excellent. Unless there's any other rooftop phase shenanigans, we will move into our first novel chapter. Good? All right. Let's bring our first novel chapter, and this is where our more normal personas make their way about the world. So, did anyone, as their non-masked persona, have particular things they would like to get up to? There is a ball that will be happening soon, obviously. I know you have someone you want to destroy.
Well, yes. I mean, I already destroyed Janet or Janine or whatever her name was.
Judith.
Whatever. I already had her destroyed. So that was just an aside given sort of thing that she got disinvited to the Earl's party.
That's right.
Very quietly.
It's
but
rough. I forgot about that
very
part.
not subtly.
Anyone else?
Love me.
I don't know what you're talking about. And the other stuff I'm assuming will probably happen at the ball. So
I believe that Leopold Hawthorne is going to be hosting a lunch with some of the more prominent members of society, including the Viscount, Thomason, the Countess, as equals part an apology for the sudden ending.
That's right. That was a mess. Okay. So where's this? We'll jump straight to the lunch. Where's this
is
lovely
going to be in the
luncheon
outdoor
happening?
and terrace area.
Okay.
And while the inside is relatively run down, the outside is actually relatively impeccable because Mary loved outdoors, and so it maintains the last veneers of the Hawthorne austerity, as it were. is being attended by the few servants that Hawthorne has left. And every once in a while you see, those that don't want to eat going in and out to the woods to go either walking or larger parties, maybe doing a hunting party. At the head of the table, he is just sipping his tea, looking at everyone. So, the ball. I hope everyone has found the proper attire for it. Because he does not know anything about small talk, and he's trying his best. It's just like...
So you've invited Thomason, Eleanor,
the
Viscount's
now,
here.
yeah, who might bring his...
I think he'd feel somewhat obligated to because you are also her patron.
I am.
He's like, well, we have the finest attire for the ball. Yes.
Of course you do. And has anyone heard any truth to the rumors that there will be nobility there?
I've been told the monarch will be arriving himself. Themselves. I don't know if we've established anything about the monarch.
How very exciting. I do believe that this is the first time I would have had an opportunity to attend such festivities with the monarch present.
It's quite an honor for anyone to be invited, really. You should feel very honored, young Crawford, Lady Crawford. You should feel so honored that you were invited.
Yes, I do feel quite honored, as I'm certain you can understand and empathize with.
That's deep.
Sir.
Well, yes,
Eleanor smirks into her tea a little bit.
was expected.
Catherine, so nice to see you.
Oh, yes. Catherine has been very quiet. She has not talked with you one-on-one yet, Thomason. You probably would feel like you would have noticed something. Yes, I also have clothing for the ball.
I would hope so. You think it would be relatively a scandal, even for Bath.
Oh, sir.
I mean, after your, nothing. Yes, it would certainly a scandal. Going to go get some more tea. Catherine leaves, even though there's servants there serving the tea. Yeah, she's a spirited child.
Leopold takes a pause and looks over at leaving Catherine, and then looks over at Eleanor for a second, just making sure there's any looks.
Is she feeling quite well?
Oh, I don't know. She has moods. But I suppose that's normal for a young woman to have moods.
Wish I had a dart right now.
That's very true, as opposed to gentlemen who tend to have those moods as they get later on in life.
You said
Simple biology, of course.
It's natural. Simple biology.
Your gardens are quite lovely, sir.
I can take no credit for that. It was the late Mary, my dear wife, who made sure that they were in impeccable taste.
I understand she had quite the green thumb.
She did. She always had the eye for what the present holds and how it could be grown into the future. Really, a visionary, as it were. It is a shame that she is gone. She has such lovely things to say about you, about everyone here, mostly.
I'm sure that it was quite only because she was quite sadly unable to make everyone's acquaintance. There are some who were perhaps a bit too busy to visit.
No, I'm pretty sure she met everyone here, and she was a good judge of character. As he's saying this, he's sipping and he's looking at the Viscount the entire time.
Gracious.
Why are you looking at the Viscount the entire time?
The tea sipping shade is strong.
That's very strong. Viscount's like, well, your wife was lovely. We miss her dearly.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose good to have you back here.
Of course, since we spent so much time together before I left.
Yes, all that good time spent. I suppose you are here for a long time or a short time?
We shall see how business takes me. I must see to this date, and then from there, where my job takes me, but the name of Hawthorne must be restored.
Yes. Yes, I do appreciate all your support of the young Catherine. It would be a shame to see that support ended.
I believe you underestimate her at times. She is going to be a bright star, I believe.
Well, as long as she gets married eventually, and then I don't have to. And she sort of trails off quietly. Yes, she'll be wonderful to someone, I'm sure.
You make me really want to use my dowager power right now. Save it.
Your dowager power?
I have condemnation. I've been saving that. I have that one bullet left.
Is that your
That is my reputation.
the reputation?
Yeah.
Haven't used it yet. Yeah.
By Jove, good man. You have the power, spend it.
Oh, this is not the time. You wait for the ball.
Oh, you gotta shame him in front of other people. That's
If you will all
Delightful.
excuse me, I believe the heat is quite getting to me, and I do worry after young Miss, what's her last? Lansdowne.
the same as my last name, dear. I don't know why I would forget that.
I can't imagine. Excuse me.
Wow.
So do you go after Catherine?
Yes.
Excellent. Because now that you're not going to be playing two characters in one scene, I would like to, while the Countess is there, I will spend a resolve token for the Falconer to appear at this party. So I believe the Falconer,
Thomas Wallingford.
Thomas Wallingford.
Thomas
And then we'll
Wallingford.
flash to Catherine and Thomas a little bit
Alright.
later. But I think this is an event he should be at.
Yes. Well, he will quite invite himself. You
Oh
see.
yeah, he was not invited.
He is living here after all, and he's certain that it was just by formality that he was not actually verbally invited. It was probably just assumed, as he assumed, that he would be welcomed.
Yeah, he lives there.
And
why wouldn't
yes,
he be
why
invited?
wouldn't he? It really. So as Thomason is entering, Mr. Sir Wallingford is exiting into the gardens, impeccably dressed, his silky sheen of hair pulled back into a fashionable ribbon, and he jauntily struts his way into the gardens. Gardens?
I believe the Countess was asked to fulfill a favor regarding the Mr. Wellingford.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Cool. They haven't interacted yet, and I wanted to.
Leopold, old boy, what a lovely little gathering you're having here. And he drops himself into a seat, holds up a cup for filling for the servant. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Sir Thomas, how lovely you should discover us today.
Oh, yes, of course, it was very kind of you to not interrupt my mid-morning nap.
I thought that was perhaps because you didn't fall asleep until 2 a.m. while playing the violin.
Yes, that's what we'll call it, right?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to imagine in what way. I'm assuming sex. Would he have had another person there, or was this just?
Just don't worry.
How does that sound like the violin? Or are you just in a deep
was-
well of denial?
It's just being polite.
Audience at home, let imagination take you to places. Where it takes you, we are not responsible.
It's too early for whiskey.
Never.
Oh, that was my outdoor voice.
Oh. Countess, lovely to see you again as well.
Have we actually met?
That's
Right.
why.
Already probably.
Oh yeah.
Probably in passing, but I don't think you really had a conversation.
No. The pleasure is all yours, I'm sure.
Quite sassy.
Oh, yes, you two have not been formally introduced. Let me introduce the hero of the ravine, one who has fought many times, has amassed a great fortune, one of the biggest heroes of the land. And Sir Thomas. I hope you two meet each other well.
What? Yes.
You do me great honor, my friend.
It's quite a feat these days for a woman to have achieved so very much. Your father must be proud.
My father is dead, and no more of a feat than it is for a man. Perhaps even less.
Well, I don't know if I would go so far as to say that. After all, you are of the more delicate sex.
God, I love when you play these characters, Lizzie. You're 2 for 2 now.
You know, I understand that women's bones are somewhat more brittle than men's, just by nature.
They're like birds. Just
They are
collarbones.
like birds.
Yeah, sorry, I guess the mic is here.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mike.
yes, I've heard they're rather like birds, fragile, hollow bones and
Yes.
all. Yes.
Yes. And the blood is somewhat thinner. It's what leads to all of the fainting.
This is why they leak once a month, too.
Well,
So somewhere in the far off, there's Alexander Metacombs, and every once in a while he keeps raising his hand as being an academic, and every time he just never mind and goes back.
Wait,
to
is Alex there?
Yeah, just on the far
He's
side.
just-
he's like, that is not quite true.
Excuse me. Let me tell you about periods.
Sir, I think you will find it is quite untrue. Did you hear about these things when you were a schoolboy? As you
No,
when you
don't
learned-
take it so seriously. We're just joking
Or
around.
just having a little bit of a laugh.
Sir,
After all,
for
if
you,
we are
that's right.
going
I
to
will
wear,
excuse it,
after
as you were
all,
old and don't know any better.
if you're going to wear the pants, you're going to hang with the
You,
boys, aren't you?
on the other hand,
saucy.
have less excuse.
Being called old.
She outranks him in peerage easily.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. He's aware of all of this.
Yes.
He's taking what he can.
You, on the other hand, have far less excuse and should know better.
Come now, Countess. You can have a little bit of fun amongst your friends.
Don't take it so seriously. We're just joking around.
Well, then
Just
I propose
some banter.
a little jest.
Oh, and what would you propose?
Swords till first blood.
Yeah.
Come on, what are you going to do? Let a woman take your courage away from you?
Oh, well, you know, there are laws against, not laws, there are rules of gentlemanliness against attacking a woman in such a manner.
Such brave words.
If she's wearing trousers after all, you could barely call her that.
Imagine underneath them they're all the same. You know what? I will do you this honor, Countess. You wish to duel, then we will duel.
Excellent. William, my sword from the carriage.
He goes out and brings you the sword in a case.
don't.
You're welcome, Danger Mouse.
William's such a good servant.
He really is.
This
Really
is a duel.
It's
This
happening.
is the first duel.
Oddly enough, if Marcus weren't away from the keyboard having dinner with his girlfriend, he was going to hand me the sword. We had this plan, but it's okay.
Where is it?
It's right here.
Oh.
Oh.
1 second.
No, it's
all right.
fine.
You are handed your sword by William.
Yeah, Leopoldo.
Is Eleanor asking
Why am I
to
the
do
one
this
handing
duel
you the
now?
sword?
Yeah, thank you.
This one, she did say to first blood. Are you sure you still remember how to use a sword?
There is trust me. I know very well how to wield my weapon. And have had no complaints.
Countess, a word if you will. Just a moment.
Of course.
No
that's a-
coaching there, old boy. She must win on her own merit.
As you know, I'm old. My style is clearly not useful for the
He
modern
doesn't
age.
even listen to this. He's already talking to the Viscount.
Some would say he's from the time of Charlemagne.
he's talking to the Viscount. He's not even listening to this shit. You're welcome,
So the-
Danger Mouse.
The aside conversation.
He is a fool and a buffoon. I detest him, and he is a true and honest danger to the crown. He also is a ranking swordsman of some repute, top of his class, and he has killed 8 men in honorable duels before. He's killed more in unhonorable duels. Take care.
Thank you for the warning. I did say first blood. This is purely to size him up.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Just be careful that he remembers that.
Say that again?
I said, just be careful that he remembers that as well.
Well, we'll see if I remember it by the time he closes his mouth. Alright.
So we're going to use the Daring Deed resolution for this, which this is a main character against a non-main character, so play that as you will. But typically, either like we did with Harriet, you just play a resolve token, the thing happens, but if there's a conflict between two characters, which there clearly is, then you essentially both state what your ideal outcomes as your character would be in this situation. If they are compatible, then they can both happen. If not, then we go into either negotiating them till they are compatible, or we end up bidding resolve tokens to see who wins.
My ideal is he's not at all taking this seriously, because he wouldn't. So she toys with him for a little while until he realizes that he can't just not take it seriously. Actually, no. I think my alternative is he's not going to take it seriously, so she almost immediately disarms him and slices him across the shoulder.
Okay. What do you want for Thomas? Not for Thomason, for Wallingford.
So Wallingford, thinks this is all a huge joke. She is clearly only a countess because she bought into it. She was only a privateer because her uncle just shepherded her way through her career. She is a tiny woman, and he has nothing to fear, so he would probably be very easily overcome quickly by taking advantage, by her not fucking around and him.
So if you are okay with what Anna wants Eleanor to do happening, then Anna, you can spend the resolve token. Wallingford will gain that resolve token, and then we can narrate it, and that is how the outcome will go.
Gets the resolve token?
Boom!
That's gross.
Conflict
up
with another
to
character.
4.
How is he up to 4?
Because I gave
he's
him
a
one
demon.
for entering
Yeah,
the scene.
I entered with 2. I entered tonight with 2, and I've gotten 2.
That sucks, because I don't feel like I won.
You get to narrate what happens.
Well, pretty much just that. She quickly swoops in, disarms him, and disarms him in such a ridiculously showy way that she scoops the sword up, tosses it a couple of times, and clinks it away. Like she's dribbling a soccer ball, but with her sword instead of her knee.
I totally want to catch that sword too.
Wallingford is humiliated, I presume. So this happens, the sword
And
goes flying.
infuriated.
What does Wallingford do?
So he went into this all grins and laughter and was like, and then, with hardly any effort, and with him barely having begun to try and toy with her, he finds himself disarmed and wounded, and one of his favorite jackets is now torn. And this in front of the Viscount.
Who is
And
laughing?
even worse, in front of the falconer.
Oh no.
Yeah! Wallingford, you just got shown! Old boy!
Yes. Well, I suspect perhaps the Countess is a bit more of a man than I expected.
I do believe perhaps
More
that
so than you, perhaps.
Ooh.
And she hands her sword to William, who cleans it and puts it away and stands by holding it in case it should be needed again.
And he's clearly like trying to look like, it's so funny. But there is absolute seething behind his eyes. Absolute burning anger at this wound to his pride.
Well, I really had hoped I would get my pulse up a little bit with that one, but unfortunate that you're more bark than you are bite. Shall we go back to tea? It seems a bit more your speed, Seth.
You know, I must admit when I underestimate. But I suppose, as tempting as tea and company are, that I have a jacket to replace. Good day, Countess.
She gives a polite smile, and that's it.
All right. I think that's where we'll close their portion of the scene, and we'll pick up the portion in the kitchen. Unless you have anything else.
After he leaves, she leans over to Mr. Hawthorne and simply says, "I don't think we'll have a problem with what you ask."
There's just a chuckle.
In the kitchen, which is where Catherine ran to, because that is where she runs to, because it's safe
All
in the
best
kitchen.
things happen.
And she's like sitting down, like someone's already brought her like a cake, and she's drinking some tea, and just sort of sitting there, nibbling at it, like not really eating it.
Thomason enters, empty-handed, and comes up to next to where Catherine is sitting. Are you all right?
Oh, yes, I'm fine.
You left so abruptly, and you don't quite seem yourself. I thought perhaps maybe the Viscount had said something. He and Wallingford are...
Unpleasant. I spend enough time with my uncle. Sorry to take you away from the festivities that were happening.
I'm quite glad to have been taken away, given what I saw as I was leaving.
I suppose it wasn't quite so proper of me, but...
No one there thinks any less of you. No one who matters.
I suppose.
Are you sure you're well?
Yes, I am. I've had a lot on my mind lately, that's all.
Anything you wish to share?
No, maybe, I don't know. I suppose it's not that important. I know we are very good friends. In fact, best friends. You trust me, right?
I trust you more than anyone.
I don't know who this gives us to, but I am crossing off. Thomason is wooing Catherine.
Okay.
Because they're doing this in the kitchen.
No.
They
There
are
are
doing this in the
servants
kitchen.
there.
Okay, what do you want to have happen with this, though? That's the thing.
I'm going to have one of the servants who kind of look over at the both of them for a second, walk out quickly, and then there's a little titters, and then around the corner, a couple of the younger folk look over and they just begin peeking and trying to pretend like they are.
Okay, so you're
I'm trying to
wanting
make it a public affair that they're
that
totally missing the
people
context.
know this. Okay,
Yeah.
you want the public to
Yeah.
know this. All right, excellent.
Kitchen wooing.
Hashtag kitchen wooing. So we will go ahead and cross this part. This Thomason wooing
nice.
Catherine resolve token. Excellent.
Everyone
Actually,
like-
I think probably what happens is like Catherine like takes Thomason's hand, and that's exactly when the servants are looking. She like sort of leans in very conspiratorially. Are you? This might sound strange. Are you living the life you want to be living? Are you happy taking care of your parents' estate? Well, what's left of it? I've heard the rumors.
At times, there are certainly parts of it that I am happy with.
If you could do anything, what would you do? Your sister already did it. She ran off and became a privateer.
Pirate. She became a pirate.
Pirateer.
For the state.
A pirateer.
A pirateer. It's alright.
She's already done it. Why haven't you?
I
Or
have
have you?
responsibilities, and there are things that I would rather not leave.
Like what? She's like holding your hand, leaning real in. Like what?
Like, well, what are you asking?
Let's go of your hand. I guess I just wanted to know what it is you really want. For myself, I have no joy here. I'm under the thumb of my uncle, and if not my uncle, then the generosity of someone else. Mr. Leopold. Oh, sorry, Mr. Hawthorne. Oh, I got confused there for a second. Mr. Hawthorne, someone I may eventually have to marry. I have nothing. My parents had no estate to leave me. But even then, I know how lucky I am. I haven't had to scrounge or beg or suffer. I've seen the people in this world who are truly in need, and I can't stand by and let that happen anymore. But I don't know what it is that you want. What truly your heart desires beyond keeping the books and your ledgers and accounts and watching your parents' fortune slowly dwindle.
These are only things that I am obligated to do, not things that I wish to do.
But what if you weren't? What have you left?
I agree with you. That I would very much like to help people in whatever way that I can, and I would very much like to make things more fair, and also, though perhaps not so alone.
Good. And she like fiddles with something in like her pocket, and then like closes her hand, and she takes your hand. She opens your hand and she puts something in it, and then she closes your hand. I need to leave. I think my uncle's making that sound.
I think at that point they hear sword fighting.
Yeah. I think I best make sure my uncle leaves.
Perhaps so.
I'll see you again soon.
Yes.
And then she disappears. Surprisingly quickly. You open your hand. There is a single white feather.
And she tucks it away, making sure that there are no servants around to see.
Right as Harriet walks up.
Has Harriet just been here the whole time?
Possibly. But
Or
no,
did she
not
just
really.
invite herself?
Not really.
No.
She had a late evening, so she was quite retired in the parlor drinking cups of tea, and walked in to get another bit of snack or whatever, and was like, Thomason.
Oh, Harriet! Hello! How are you? It's so lovely to see you in the kitchen unexpectedly. Hello.
Slow yourself.
Need to slow down. You would like me to be
slow your roll.
quieter.
Yes,
My-
please.
There is a bread roll that's very quickly tumbling off the counter.
Stops the roll.
Thank you. I just came to say hello. I apologize. My head is quite.
You were perhaps invited, but you slept in a little bit too late.
Yes. I'm sorry. It was a bit exciting. How are you?
Well, thank you. Absolutely well.
You look.
And in no way any different than I usually am.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, please, never mind.
You are quite red and quite flush in the face.
Yes, totally fine. Thank you. And you.
I'm fine. Just up to
Yes.
nothing.
Yes, nothing at all.
Nothing, not at all.
Likewise, life has been very boring lately.
Oh, so incredibly boring.
Yes.
I'm
Nothing of note at all has happened.
it's so boring indeed. that I wanted to come say hello to you and give further contact information because I might leave Bath. That is so
Leaving.
boring.
Oh, that is a shame.
It's so
Leaving.
boring. It's become so boring all of a sudden.
A servant goes by and just rolls their eyes.
Leaving Bath. Leaving. Yes, leaving.
Have you thought about leaving?
What? No, I have an estate. An obligation.
I feel like that's a good place to end. Unless you had more that you needed to do.
No, I just wanted to make
be
it
awkward. Perfect. That's been done. And that will resolve this novel chapter. Well done, everybody. I believe that brings us to rumors and scandal.
Yay!
Reputation first. So
No.
examine your various reputations and determine if you have met any of the conditions. Oh, I think
I did.
Yeah. What is your what was the condition?
I believe made a sacrifice or denied desires to uphold the superiority of your rank. I insulted the heck out of that guy. Does that
You
count?
made Wait, what is it?
Okay, I guess it's make sacrifice. So no, I guess I did.
Is there another one about upholding your rank?
No, that's the only one about upholding my rank.
Okay.
And that was the one I
You did sacrifice stabbing him in the face.
You
Yeah.
sort of
That's
did
true.
have to
That is
sacrifice
true.
murdering him.
I did not kill him.
But did you do that to uphold your rank or not uphold your rank?
It definitely would have been detrimental to her rank if she had stabbed him in the face.
Without challenging him to a duel, yeah.
We can give you a tag.
All right. I'm like, I haven't
You
done
don't have
it.
that many, so let's what would the tag be?
The non-stabbing.
Restrained?
Yeah, the restrained. The snarky. That one works too.
I've started writing restrained,
All
so
right,
that's
so
what
it's
you
restrained,
that's what you
got
get. That is your second positive tag.
Yay. I also think
I-
I got a negative one.
Definitely think Catherine got a negative one for acted in contravention of society's conventions. Both for running away, and also for flirting brazenly in the kitchen.
Quite flushed.
Harriet definitely did.
So I think we'll give Catherine. She has headstrong and meddler already, so it would be a good one for spirited. I already said that's literally how I described her, and that is her third.
Spirited is pretty good.
That is her
love it
third
all.
negative tag. She's a very spirited child. Oh no. Oh yes, I'm
Okay.
going to take not welcome here.
Oh.
One of those you depend on makes it clear you are no longer welcome in their house. You must find somewhere else to stay until you are reconciled.
Oh,
Turns out I have multiple
Oh, I am
places.
so gonna create scandal out of that one.
Oh yeah.
only if I don't beat you to it.
I mean, I think that's going to be the Viscount, unless Leopold would have reason to.
Oh,
'Cause
no,
those
no,
are our
no.
two people
No,
she
I think
depends
it's
Oh, he
my
approves.
Okay. All right. You said you had another one, a negative one.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I acted in contravention of society's conventions.
Probably. Yeah.
Was what I was thinking.
Wear
Yeah.
pants a lot.
You wear pants a
Well,
lot, and then you
yeah.
threaten someone to a duel and brazenly
Yeah.
Then
showed them
beat
up.
him.
And I feel like,
aggressive.
generally
How
speaking,
dare.
there's an overall aesthetic of hers that is accepted because it's her overall aesthetic. But
But
that
for
duel,
those two people, like you pushed it
Yeah.
just a little bit too far, and the people you pushed it,
Yep.
Yeah.
those two assholes.
The brazen.
The brazen
They
would
had
like
it
that.
coming.
They did, but they did. I mean, I'm very excited for you to murder Wallingford.
Oh, me too.
I think Wallingford's excited for you to murder Wallingford.
I just really like making characters that people want to murder.
You do.
I appreciate you
do.
for it.
Thank you,
You said
AJ,
Harriet
for
got
giving
one.
me this gift.
Harriet definitely has earned one for the daring deed of a master criminal.
Okay.
And
So we either need to replace one if it's a positive tag, then we need to replace one that you have because you already have 5 tags.
oh yeah.
Because we have not been using the tags for
I
resolve
forgot
tokens.
to do that. I forgot to do that.
And we can replace one if you would like.
Just get rid of the, was it flip flop or whatever? Is that one?
Is this going to be a negative tag or a positive one?
I believe it. And this one is a positive.
Okay, that's why you have 5 positives. You have elusive, bubbly, capitalist, trusting, and selfless.
Oh well, I'm not selfless. I stole a lot, so let's just get rid of that.
All right. So what are we replacing it with?
Just master.
Master.
And Elsa can technically get a journeyman.
And that's a mass tag.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Anyone else? Any other tags?
Sorry, I did the thing in games where I start collecting tags.
That's fine.
Just forgot that you could use them.
Oh. Don't think she's quite there yet. Okay.
Can we recap quickly what tags do?
So the tags are, one, they're just, you collect them. You can use them as a resolve token. So for example, I could say, I'm going to use the fact that Catherine is headstrong, or someone else could use, generally someone would use a negative tag against you, and you would use one of your positive tags for yourself. So I might say, oh, I'm going to use Eleanor's tag as being brazen, so that Wallingford stabs her in the dark. I don't know. Maybe not exactly like that, but that sort of concept where I would use it as essentially a resolve token, similar to the way we bring the rumors and scandal in. But if you stack up 3 resolve tags in either the positive or the negative, then you get a reputation tags. You get a reputation condition. And those conditions are part of your character sheet. So for example, I have the reputation condition from the dependent, which is that you are not welcome here, meaning that someone kicks you out of the house. And so when those things are enacted, they happen until either you narratively resolve them or you lose enough tags that it goes away on its own. And then you narratively resolve it. So once you have 5, you can't just keep collecting them.
If you use one, it goes away?
It goes away, yes. And that's how you can lose the reputation conditions when they're crossed off. And you have, in our case, we have 3 and 3, 3 positive, 3 negative conditions you can get. And that, if everyone's done with their reputation, then we will move on to rumors and scandal.
Delightful.
The rumors and scandal, the final rumors and scandal for our story. There will be no rumors, more rumors. There will be no more scandal. So as a reminder, we have none that are we have one that does not have a resolve token. So we have Eleanor has a secret lover. Hawthorne is looking for a wife. Vigilantes and thieves are swarming Bath because of a diamond. And the monarch will visit Bath soon for a party. Those all have resolve tokens. And then we have one that will go if we don't put a resolve token on it, which is that Alex, for those who don't know, W.E. Partridge, has come in search of a wife.
I thought that did have a resolve
It is
token
fading on mine, but does
Okay.
not have a
It is
resolve
fading, it's
token.
fading.
So we will go around. We'll start with someone who hasn't started this round before, which I believe is the good volunteer over here, AJ. You can either create
But
a rumor, you can
Seducing
add a token to a rumor, which in this case there's only one, and those are your 2 options. You can make a rumor or spread a rumor.
I'm making a rumor.
All right, what's your rumor?
Thomas and Catherine are running away to get married.
ooh,
Like, this is not even a rumor. Everyone knows this at this point. So says someone that doesn't know.
Okay. Let's, do you want to take it, Scotland, or do you...
I was so entranced by that. I don't know. I want to start a rumor that the criminals, the masked criminals in Bath, find the diamond not worth stealing.
They're bored by the diamond.
They're bored by the diamond. It is no longer popular.
Lizzie.
This is an epic music.
I know it's.
I mean, I've been wiggling my feathers to it for quite some time. What is my rumor? My rumor is cranky. I'm gonna buy time and just confirm the Thomason and Catherine one.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a solid strategy.
I'm going to min-max my rumors
Mm-hmm.
and scandals and say that Wallingford has lost his nerve for dueling. And then for my... Wait, no, you
I
you
get to go
one.
next.
Sorry, I thought it was coming around and ending on me. That's all right.
Okay, Wallingford has lost his nerve. I'm going to start the new rumor. That is... the Countess has a short temper. What was your second one?
You do this.
Oh,
you
you're
do
right.
your
And then I
second
get
one.
to I get to make. I think I'll make a second one.
Evil.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I know it's difficult.
Kind of want to do a rumor around the diamond.
Well, I know a lot of people are bored by it.
The diamond is quite boring. I was thinking of making a rumor that it was in fact a fake, but
Well, I was
think we
going to
could say
say
that.
where that fakes are like popping up all over the place.
oh,
Well, it's a
I like that.
celebration thing. British are very good at that.
Yeah, there are fakes. Of
Oh
the
yes, you
Dresden
can buy
Green.
one at every corner store.
Oh, is that?
I had thought about as the
I'm making it one.
countess
They're fakes of
making
the
it
Dresden
a
Green.
trend and like encouraging everyone to wear a glass version of it to the ball.
That is
but I decided
amazing.
not to. And then
there are
I'm
lots
just
of
going
fakes.
to confirm the Wallingford one.
Cool.
So that I can cash that in later.
Wallingford has lost his nerve.
It's not my fault. He has too many resolve tokens. I gotta hedge my bets just in case.
Oh, it's back to me, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to start a rumor that I am going to start a rumor that the Countess cheats at duels.
Oh.
Countess cheats. Two can play at the rumor resolve token game.
There are
Yes,
so
I
many.
cheat.
Oh, there's a lot. This
Yeah.
is tough.
It's probably
'Cause
not
I'd
a bad
like-
idea to confirm some of
Yeah, I
them,
think-
because any of the ones that don't get confirmed are no longer useful.
That's tough. So we have unconfirmed criminals are bored by the diamond. Wallingford's lost his nerve, and the Countess has short temper, and the Countess...
Wallingford has lost his nerve has been confirmed. So unconfirmed, Countess cheats at duels. Alex is looking for a wife. Criminals are bored by the diamond. The Countess has a short temper, and they're fakes of the diamond.
Cheats at duels.
Okay, I don't know if I want to confirm it, but I want to confirm that there are fakes of the diamond.
Okay.
But I want to see if I can add a caveat that they are being sold by the shiny trinket and the eerie. It is a new
Sure.
trend.
You can add to that rumor. Like there are plenty of fakes of the diamond that are being sold.
Yeah, and they have started a new trend.
Yeah. The rumor is intentionally a little bit more simple. All right. Last but not least.
The Countess clearly cheated because no woman would ever win at social
You were adding a resolve token to it. All right. So with
Oh
that.
yeah, the factions have to be set.
We cross off Alex is in search for a wife. That one fades into nothingness. Much like Alex.
And
We
yours
technically
was?
fade. The criminals are
Oh.
bored by the diamond,
The Countess cheats.
and the Countess has a short temper. But we don't have another round of this, so those will eventually just get crossed off. All right. So with that,
So continuing through, we only have 3.
so the ones that we have left, we have Eleanor has a secret lover. Hawthorne is looking for a wife. Vigilantes and thieves are swarming Bath because of the diamond. The Countess cheats at duels. The monarch will visit Bath soon for a party. Thomason and Catherine are running away to get married. Wallingford has lost his nerve, and there are lots of fakes of the Dresden Green.
Okay.
Those all have resolve tokens. Because this was our last rumors and scandal phase. And finally, we shall round out this half with our epistolary. Our letter writing phase. So each of our lovely protagonists may write either as themselves or as one of their connections to 2 letters. They can also receive a letter if they choose to spend a resolve token on it. So, does anyone have a letter they would like to pen?
I'll start one. This one is the falconer, who is penning a letter to the coop, which is unheard of, because usually one pens a letter to their ringmaster.
You are going above my head, sir.
Yes, he is. And it goes, all in code, of course. So it's probably chirp, 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 chirp.
Tweet, tweet, chirp, chirp, chirp. Caw, caw!
I know this is unprecedented before, but I believe this is dire circumstances. I believe there are 2 threats local to Bath, and these threats might grow in dire straits if not acted upon soon. First of them is that of the Dresden Green. At first I thought it was a simple robbery, but the more I discovered, the more I believe this is a threat to the entirety of the crown. I believe there might be political plays at foot. Additionally, and this one is more of a personal nature, I do not know if the current ringmaster can be fully trusted. They seem very, let's say, friendly with the players of the local game, and I do not trust this. We must always keep a separation between personal life and the life of the mask. I request for you more troops, for we must resolve this before the night of the ball, or I fear terrible things might happen. The Falconer.
Okay.
I will also resend the resolve token. Well, actually, I'm not sure about this, because I'm going to actually use my negative reputation condition for this.
Which is?
Career peril from last time, which is the future of your careers as the agent is thrown in doubt. You are temporarily suspended or removed from the mission.
You've been suspended.
And that's what the letter is going to come back as.
The return letter.
Is cease and desist all actions. Do not take any actions. You will be reported to your superiors shortly. Do not leave the city.
You don't need to spend a resolve token for that. You currently have been suspended. The response will definitely be, you are not an agent, like you shouldn't be reporting this to us. Cease all activities at this moment and be prepared to be apprehended.
I will be sending 2 letters.
Oh, God.
I'm going to be sending at least 1 letter.
Would you like to send one and then you can send one?
Yes,
and then
please,
you can
go.
send the second one?
All right. So the first letter that I am going to send. Which one should I do first? All right. The first letter that I'm going to send is as Thomas Wallingford to the Falconer. But he doesn't address it to the Falconer. He addresses it to Leopold Hawthorne. Actually, just to Leopold. And there are no ingratiations on it. It's very short and to the point and commanding. No, I didn't do it intentionally.
But you did!
Sorry, you were saying?
Damn it. Whatever. He's garbage anyways. So he sends a letter. DM, don't you start with me. He sends a letter. Leopold. I believe that the Countess Sharp is up to no good. You are still my falconer. Handle it. Wallingford.
Ooh.
You just respond back. I thought I was suspended.
Not not the Falconeer Wallingford.
Ooh.
Can I reply and still do the second letter?
Yeah, do it.
All right, the response would be appropriate matters will be handled. That's the. Nope.
See
I want to
to
point
it.
out that the two of them are
And
staying
same
in the
house.
same house, so I assume these are notes being passed under the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same
It's
house.
just one servant running back and forth.
He probably no. He Wallingford went out to like a pub or something. Got himself like most of the way to sloshed. There's a little bit of a cup stain on the side of it.
Oh, God.
The quill is scratchy because he just borrowed it from the pub.
The bar.
That's
yeah.
how they
Barman-
lose
barman,
quills.
You know, just like handle it. I am your boss. Sent it. The servant running.
This is why they tie down quills now.
I'm keeping this quill.
Criminal.
All right. Okay. Your letter.
So definitely we're gonna resolve one of these items, and this is Harriet and her sister are sitting in back in the house because apparently it's joint writing session every time Harriet writes a letter.
Naturally.
Sister,
Yes. What
sister,
are you doing?
sister, did you think of a name yet?
Oh no, I haven't. I mean, I don't have anything better than High Flyer.
Sister, I have to fill out your application for the Thieves Guild.
They
Yeah.
still have those.
Oh, of course, we have to register your name.
Why would?
Well, because there's the
Is this
crimey ball at the end of October, and we have to decide if we're going to RSVP now or later.
Oh, will I get my own +1 or am I your +1?
No, you get to be your own criminal.
Oh, well, that's exciting. Well, if you're the starling, I mean,
It can't have anything to do with your real name.
How about Sparrow?
Sparrow.
We could do like Ice Queen.
She's spreading it out.
Nah,
She's
you
like,
can let that one go. It's fine.
Sparrow.
Let's go
that's
with
quite
Sparrow.
good. That's quite good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the bird family. I mean, I'm sure they're going to think this is a bit odd since there's so many criminals in this town with bird names, but that's fine.
Oh, wait, Magpie? Would that be better?
Oh, I like magpie.
Let's go with Magpie.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
with Magpie.
So, Elsa, I'm so proud of you for picking a name. So we're going to go ahead and RSVP for the crimey ball.
Oh, I love it.
Just make sure we...
We'll need to steal some dresses.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course. And then they just send that letter out.
Perfect.
So you have a name now.
The Magpie. Excellent. You will receive a letter, Thomason. It's a very short letter, and it comes from Catherine, and it just says, "I don't have anywhere to stay. Can I stay with you?" And that's it. It's just scrawled on a piece of paper and like slipped under the door.
Oh my god! And to which open door. And yes, come in.
Oof! And she's like walking away. Okay.
Guess this negates the need for my second letter.
Oh, is that going to be your second letter? What were you going to have written?
Just asking for them to, like, we need to talk and, come over and...
Okay. Well, now you can just send a letter and slip it out. You can just have the servant pass it in between. Trying to think
That
if
seems
anyone
very
else
silly.
is going to write a letter. I don't think so.
I think there will be another note left for the dove from the starling at this point.
Okay.
It's just a short one that just says, "Dearest dove, the crime is soon upon us, and I know that you and I, at least for the most part, see eye to eye. My offer still stands, and I hope that you will consider it." And inside the letter is, some traveling papers for coaches that are prearranged to go to London. If you so choose to, you may join us. We will find you in London. No worries there. Just come on the day after the ball.
Cool. I don't think you'll get a response right away. But the papers are definitely gone when you check in the morning. Eleanor will receive a letter from a Robertson Sharp. her uncle. It's clearly a few weeks old, or at this point, he's been at sea for a while, and it just says, "Dearest Eleanor, I hope you are doing quite..." And it scratched that out. Sorry. Countess! My apologies. I hope you are doing quite well. It has been a while since we've seen each other. I have heard things were quite successful with your most recent business endeavor, and you received a hearty payment. Now, I know you have decided you might want to settle down in Bath, and certainly I wouldn't stop you from doing it, but just see the enclosed papers. I have some very exciting information for you. And you look, and there's this just a business proposition. It's like the title to a bunch of ships in the East India Trading Company, and it's all quite large sums of money. And just at the end of it saying, if for some reason you find yourself needing to leave post-haste, never fear, your uncle is here. Your fondest, Robertson.
The Dread Privateer.
The Dread Privateer. Well, that's the...
Dread Pirate Robertson.
No, Dread Privateer Robertson.
Dread Privateer Robertson.
Privateer.
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
Pirate.
Pirateer.
In a wax envelope. Any other letters?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is to Catherine from Leopold. It is a relatively church one saying, Catherine, I am sorry to say that our relationship as your patron must end. Over the last couple of weeks, there are things that polite society cannot deny. And it goes on to be a very proper one of dismissing her because the Viscount obviously doesn't want anyone to associate with her anymore. The second page is completely blank, and what it looks like is ink stains or just smudge from the run over of that one. But, you know, the Dove is a smart one and can quickly realize that it's a cipher. What the real letter says instead is, things have gone faster than I would like. You are truly one in a generation. Meet me at the sharpest date on the day before the ball. I have things I must tell you. You're the only person I know that I can keep it. She can't come to my house.
No, that's fine. No, that makes sense. I'm just amused you didn't tell me first.
Oh, did I have to tell you?
No, it's gonna make it
You
better.
said a second of being like, BT Dubs, Eleanor are going to be using your estate for her meeting. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thanks,
CC
bye.
Eleanor Sharp.
Okay. Anything else for anyone else?
It's got chilly in here with all the shade.
All right. That shall then be the final portion of this half. We will come back after a quick break with our second half. But first, let us see if there are donations to read. To be read.
Uh-oh.
To be read. We shall see. But we will return for the final thrilling conclusion of a manner of speaking. To the point! All right. 10-9, 10-9, we're 10-9, 10-9. Oh, good. Okay, the first one is from Falcons and Falchions
Oh, God.
with 1428. Come to Falcons and Falchions, a store dedicated to providing equipment for all manner of outdoor activities, to be they falconry or swordplay. Nestled in between the shiny trinket and the eyrie, look for the flickering lights and other sign in the window. And our sign in the window.
These are all canon, by the way.
Oh, they 100% are. Falcons and Falchions. The eyrie. We have recently been accused of overpriced stork. We regret that these pheasants and coots have debased themselves when they crowed about their pricing differences. And while, yes, they do have cheaper stock, that is because of its shocking quality.
I'm so happy.
Wow.
I
There were
disown
so
all
many
of you.
puns in that
Who-
one.
I am
Who
blocking
wrote
all
that?
of you when this is
I
over.
believe
None of you
this
are
is from
free
the
of sin.
eyrie.
There's more.
Oh,
I
goodness.
believe these are all from Pumpkin, as they were talking about.
These
You're
are
amazing.
earlier in the day.
You're
Yeah.
amazing.
This came in this morning.
Disown.
The shiny trinket. Come to our new food court. Try our
court?
baker's specialty MAG pies. Perfect for those with ravenous appetites from a long perusal of our new macabre section this month only, or go out for a lark with one of our new darter, a swift kite.
Well
another
done.
one.
Very well done.
Someone just
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
just kill me now.
So
The next
wonderful.
one is from also the shiny trinket. With regards to our depraved neighbors, stop puffing yourselves up so. 'Tis a pitta that tyrants like you seek to deprive honest English citizens by outsourcing your production simply for the sake of making a pun. Don't give these loons your business at all.
This is the world I want to live in. I'm so happy right now.
And finally, one from William TW with $10. I
Don't
heard
disappoint
a
me.
rumor that that GeekSpaceTV had a theater play about birds called The Six Sparrows of Sparta, and it's about Charlemagne's falcon, and it was put in writing 1,000 years ago by the personal attendant of a countess. Is this rumor or a keeper?
Oh,
The
That was
Six
all right,
Sparrows
thank
of
you.
Sparta. It's good. It's good.
it's really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your donations. They help us keep the lights on here. We will read out any donations that come through in the second half at the end of tonight's episode. We're going to take a quick break, drink some water, go use the bathroom, all of those things. So you should also take care of your bodies when we shall be returning for the thrilling conclusion of A Manner of Speaking. To the point. and welcome to GeekSpaceTV. You're here to watch the final episode of Manner of Speaking to the Point, and its thrilling conclusion as we determine what happens to the fake Dresden Green. The real one, we have already figured out what happens to it. But perhaps, more importantly, what happens to the young daughter of the Earl of Somerset? Will she be forced into wedlock with the Viscount Charles Lansdowne, or will she not? Will our intrepid heroes make their fortunes? Will someone be murdered? Will there be a duel? So many questions to be answered in such short amount of time. So welcome back. It's wonderful to see you all here. If you are new to GeekSpaceTV, we are a non-profit broadcasting studio in the Seattle area, and we are delighted to be playing this game by Story Brewers, which is out now in an internet store near you. And I say that because only the PDF is currently available, but eventually the hardcover book will be available. So if you did not back this on the Kickstarter, or you backed it but didn't have access to the PDF for some reason, and the level you backed it, blah, 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 whatever, you can acquire it for yourself, and you too can play the original version of this game, which is Good Society. Eventually they will be putting out the updates, or their alternate versions, which is the one we are playing today, Sense, Sensibility, and Swordsmanship, which is a mashup of classic Jane Austen tropes, and the tropes from things like masked vigilante stories such as Zorro and the Scarlet Pimpernel. So you should definitely go check that out, as well as that Story Brewer's other work. They are lovely human beings, and we are delighted to continue to work with them. So, with that in mind, let us very quickly recount. I'll go over the announcements again at the end of the show, but the most important one is we're not going to be live tomorrow night with an RPG, because we will be hosting at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, me, on a different channel, called Geek and Sundry. You might have heard of it. I'll be running a game called Weave Society. I wrote this one.
Amazing!
So there's a lot of typos. So with that, let's reintroduce our players, starting in the opposite direction from last time. Who are they and who are they playing?
Hi, I'm Algernon. You can find me at Algernon. I'm playing Leopold Hawthorne, otherwise known as the Falconer.
Building.
What did I just say?
Algernon.
Oh.
Did you say AJ Algernon? Wait,
no, you said...
Just Algernon.
I just added the building.
Oh.
He called himself Algernon Hawthorne.
I'm trying to think of important facts. All right. Secret agent of the government, who's now, I guess, an ex-agent of the government?
Yeah, he's a suspended.
So,
he's a
I had to turn my badge and
temporarily-
gun.
Yeah.
My badge and sword.
You're suspended! Turn in your badge and sword.
You.
Me? Hi, I'm Scotland, level 2-3 and all the things on the internet, maker of things and stuff and whatevers, and I'm playing Harriet, otherwise known as the Starling. Illustrious criminal, owner of the Book of the Crimey Crimes. Remember, kids, do bad things. Or gay things, as it may be. And she currently has possession of the diamond with her sister, and now she needs more. So let's see what can happen.
Hi everybody, I'm Lizzie the Bold. You can find me on Twitches and Twitters at Lizzie the Bold, and I am playing Thomasin Crawford, who has changed into her period-appropriate Jack Skellington hoodie because she's cold. and she is by day a society heiress, by night masked vigilante.
I mean, are you an heiress when your parents are dead?
She's
and
already
you have
got
all
it.
of
She is aired.
The heiress.
She is aired.
That is a spooktacular.
She is a society money lady. Has money. And estate.
Rich.
And yes. But also vigilante. And also possibly now shacking up. I don't know. It's a little ambiguous. We'll figure it out.
Hello, I am Anna Geeks. I am a variety broadcaster on my own channel, but I am also the CEO and chair of this fine studio here. I am playing Countess Eleanor Sharp, who is a former and perhaps once again privateer.
Pirate.
Privateer.
Pirate.
Privateer.
Pirateer.
I mean, the crown really loves privateers.
It's true. It's true. All of the crowns really love privateers because without them, they wouldn't be able to afford to wage wars. So there.
Yeah, when you pirate other nations,
And-
it's heroic.
She doesn't really care about the diamond anymore because it's out of her possession now. Her job is done, so she's set her sights on killing some people. It's gonna be good.
And my name is Random Tuesday. I will be your facilitator for this evening, and I am playing Catherine Lansdowne, a young dependent of the Viscount Charles Lansdowne, a rather unsavory figure, though she's been kicked out of his home for being, I believe, too emotional, I think, is perhaps the reason. She was being spirited. She was quite spirited and headstrong. She is also, by night, the dove, the masked protector of the citizens of Bath, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. She's from Nottingham. We're going to run things a little bit differently. Typically, but because we're coming to the end of the game, this is going to be our last novel chapter / rooftop phase. I'm going to run this section a little bit differently. Normally we'd have a separate rooftop phase where we have everyone with their masked personas, and then we have kind of our novel chapter where we have everyone's daytime personas or non-masked personas. However, because we are entering the ball, in which much heisties, crimey, and doolies need to be...
What's that?
Sorry.
Do you need this back?
No.
No,
No,
you
I
just
lost responsibility. It's
things
fine.
at Each other. It's fine.
It's cool.
Everything's fine. Much dooley, crimey's, socials. I don't know. Lots of things need to happen, and many people need to be both in their masked persona as opposed to, and as well as their non-masked personas. So, what we are going to do is we're going to kind of mush these two phases together. So players are going to go back and forth as they need to for the various personas of their characters, either as their, oh, that's very clever. I see what you
trying,
did there.
yes.
I see what you did.
You
Doesn't work
really
quite so
like
well with the glasses, but that's fine. So we'll go kind of back and forth as players need to between their masked personas and their regular personas. So occasionally might need people to reiterate if they're not taking their mask on and off.
Can I do that?
This will be a little bit different than normal phase would be. So I'm going to have us all start off. The ball is approaching. In fact, it is the eve itself, or shortly before the eve of the ball. And I want us to kind of have each character narrate themselves a little montage, sort of vignette of what their character would be doing in preparation for this ball. Could be a brief conversation with another person, preparing themselves, simply getting ready, whatever it is they would be doing. So we'll kind of open with each player's montage, and then we will begin with whoever would be arriving first, for whatever reason, at the ball itself of the Earl of Somerset. So, does anyone have a particular hankering to start? If not, I will fall upon that sword as Catherine. Excellent.
I think I can give you a little bit to go on.
Sure.
First off, I mean, so last time we left our nighttime scene, there was a meetup that was supposed to happen between all of the winged criminals. And all these winged criminals, the situation groweth.
I'm not a criminal.
Not a criminal.
I'm just
What? Down it goes.
You are a criminal for dropping
Believe
that
it or
mask.
not, I'm not a criminal.
Believe it or
Privateer.
not, I follow the law.
not anymore.
Don't be Batman.
And so we have all met up, and I say to everyone, you did bring your boxes I gave you, yes?
I didn't get one, right? Like, I'm not part of this.
You are
right?
not part of this,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Nope, making sure.
I opened it and summarily read through all the contents.
That's fine, there was nothing in it.
I opened it and it's still, or I bring it out and it's still closed. I'm a man of honor.
Wait, there's nothing in them?
Of course not.
Then why
Why
did you
did
give
you-
us these boxes?
It was a trusting exercise.
She opens the box.
As you notice, it is empty. And I'm going to give you something, each of you something, to put inside. And I produced 3 of those duplicates, all purchased from the Erie
I've
new
heard these are
shop.
quite popular.
They are. They are. They're
Is
quite
this
nice.
actually what it looks like?
It's quite
It
gaudy.
is
isn't
actually
it?
what it looks like.
This
Probably
is green
slightly
as I thought
different.
it would be.
No, you would think something called the Dresden green would be more green.
Is
No,
this
it's-
glass?
Yellow.
No,
It's really not a good copy either, is it, I suppose?
No, it's not that bad. Squint a little. Give it a little squint.
You know, anyone with a
maybe in the
jeweler's
Maybe
magnifying
in the
glass
low
could-
light.
Anyway,
The box.
these are going to become most definitely important as we go and try and steal this gem if you are all still up to this task of crimes.
Of course.
Excellent.
Whatever it takes to keep it out of the hands of the Viscount.
Now, I gave you these boxes to hide them summarily so you would not be seen carrying around a gem, as it would look like another gift that was brought for this fancy ball. So, in taking these, you may be as yourselves now in front of me, or hidden in whatever personalities you choose to keep to yourselves. I do not care. But inside is also instructions here. Hands out more instructions of what each of you can do to get this gem. You will know once you see it, you will be handed another box. You will switch your gem with that gem.
We're playing musical boxes.
Essentially.
Excellent.
Who's the sparrow, and why do you keep saying good job, sparrow?
That's not important.
This one's crossed out. It said sparrow. Crossed out says magpie.
Yeah, it's also not important. Does it seem fair? Is there any questions? Is anyone confused? I'm quite tired of holding my mask. My string is quite broken.
Time.
Isn't this all just going to reveal our identities to you?
Oh, no. No, I will not know because the drop-ups will be by themselves. There will be a box that you will
And how
attend
will
to.
we signal to each other if not knowing who the
Well,
others
if you read
are?
the paper, you would clearly see that
There are
there's a schedule.
Did it really need to be 3 pages long? Really?
I'm a professional.
You need to get an editor.
I'm a professional.
It's really quite verbose.
I do have an editor. She's doing quite good. Come on now. Let's be kind.
Suppose at least it's not a meeting.
She's new.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that anything that can be conveyed in a letter should never be a meeting.
Well, this has quite a detailed schedule, and there's maps and there's diagrams. She's already been in there, so it's
No, I was approving of the letter.
So it has, the falconer going down to the bottom and retrieving it by wistfully talking to the guards in a chummy way because they trust Charlemagne. And then it has you then picking up the box dropped off in another room of the party where you exchange it out, leaving the fake in there and taking this supposed real one. Then to you at the end, changing it out and putting the fake one in there and taking the real one, and then handing it off to a servant, a servant that will meet you.
Okay.
Which in this instance would be the magpie.
I think Dub has figured that part out. Yeah. Perhaps at that point I'll put my mask on.
Yeah.
So, well, we have a plan.
Do you have a
You
plan?
get it, you get it, I get it, then you get it.
Of course. What? You hold disagreement on this? You said so. You said you were going to be a part
And
of
if
it.
there's
And I
no
will.
diamond,
1, 2,
then...
3, 4, 5.
And if the Viscount should attempt to bluff that he was the one that took the diamond, what then?
I have countermeasures.
Excellent. Did they involve stabbing him?
No,
Oh.
we will completely release all of the boxes at once and claim.
Like, what are they? Cockroaches? Like they could club crawl around
We
the
will
room
release
onto
the
people.
boxes at the party and proclaim the rumor is true. That diamond was a fake from the beginning and he is a sham.
I see. Thus ruining his good name.
Excellent.
If we proclaim that it was a fake from the beginning, are we not also
Ah, it's not important.
That simply just get the Countess in trouble.
condemning the Countess? She is an innocent party in this.
Oh no, if we are correct in the information that we have, that transfer is complete. Once it is in the new owner's hands, it is up to their responsibility.
Then we are condemning the Earl, who is also an innocent party.
Innocent is a light word considering how much money they have.
He wishes to make it a gift to the...
Rich people giving
Monarch.
rich people other gifts of wealth. I care not about their feelings in this matter.
Are you not a rich person giving yourself a gift?
I am not giving it merely to myself because I am sharing that equally amongst my partners in this crime.
we may all be rich people.
Again,
I mean, it does require a certain amount of capital in order to make our attires, is it not?
Yes, it does. I would say my biggest concern is that the Viscount does not get away with anything. I don't particularly care if the Earl disappoints the monarch. As long as we can assure that the Viscount is not able to use it to his advantage.
No.
Perhaps we simply present them with a fake. Best one that we have.
Absolutely.
So they believe it's the real one.
And I produce that one so you may see it. Since you have brought up this good point, and you will be the last to hold the real one, just switch you out with the best one possible.
Excellent.
And I will take this fake and I will use it as backup in case we need to provide extra leverage.
This is all very involved. I've never done a crime before. Are they always quite this involved?
It feels good, doesn't
Quite
it?
exciting. Don't you think so?
Say exciting, sure, but I would not say it feels good.
Does this get your blood boiling, Charlemagne?
No. But might I add, you are dealing with the peerage. It is not enough simply to say fake. If you want to destroy him, you must have conspiracy. So perhaps if you are there in your private attire, do talk about the legalities and the esteem one gets for giving a true diamond, but what a market would be upon the crown. So one try to fraud themselves in front of a noble person.
Can I count on you to deliver such a message as this? You bring amongst a good point.
Yes, I will look over this crime tonight.
Perhaps we let the Viscount get the fake. Try and do his blackmail, and then point out what he has.
Absolutely.
Yes, I like this idea.
Reveal
And
his
then
crime to the monarch.
the one who takes the fall is the one at fault. I like this.
Agreed.
Agreed.
All right.
Crime mob.
I feel like there's like this like hand thing. It's like
So
Far
I
up.
think
Right,
the
it's upside down.
facilitator is going to rephrase what she believes the plan is, involving an elaborate replacement scheme of the various diamonds.
Very elaborate.
A very elaborate replacement scheme, allowing the Viscount to then go ahead with his plan and steal the fake diamond. Try
The
to
fake.
the
The
fake
fake diamond.
the fake, and try to blackmail the Earl as he is wont to
While
do,
we
and then
smuggle
reveal what
out
he is doing.
The real fake.
That not only is he blackmailing, but he's blackmailing with
Yes.
a fake diamond, and he must have done something with the original.
Yes. The details on that latter bit escape the Starling a little bit because she's like, well, I stole it, so we're
That's, at this point, doesn't matter.
as a part, the Falconer will be a moment. Nighthawk.
It didn't work as smoothly as I hoped.
It's no problem. I no schedule anymore. I'm quite
fine.
suspended.
It's fine. Almost suspended.
I have a book to read later. That's about it.
Oh my goodness. Enjoy retirement.
Considering your memoirs.
Yes, Falconer.
Come with me, please. And he makes a gesture towards the woods nearby. And as they stroll, he leans down behind a tree and pulls out what is a long leather case. Turns the tie and opens it. Inside is a rapier that has adorned falcon on it, along with what looks like a badge that says Falconer. I think for better or worse, my time as a falconer will draw to a close at the end of this ball. Should things go as planned, I hope you take this with the blessings of its predecessor and of the crown. And should things not go right, I'd rather you use it for vigilantism than see someone who does not deserve it. Continue the name.
You are asking me to take your weapon, but not to take your station as an agent of the crown.
Oh, by all means, otherwise, I want you, more than ever, to become the next Falconer. I just rather you become one legitimately, or a bad agent never takes that place.
I don't know if this is something I want.
Think about it.
I will consider. Might
Closes
have
the
other
box.
plans. I don't know. It's a very confusing time in my life right now.
Falcon is just gone. That's what you get.
Oh,
I'm-
that's fine. No, I didn't need anyone to talk to. It's fine.
Monologue token.
Yes.
Left here alone in the woods. The what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Mysterious falconer having swept away in the darkness. The Nighthawk just continues to sort of babble to herself. No, it's fine. It's confusing, very confusing time, in my life right now. I'm going through a lot of changes. Maybe I could have used someone to talk to. It's fine. I don't really need anyone to discuss this with. It's been very lonely these last couple of years, and I've taken great solace in Catherine's companionship, and now we didn't even really know each other. We've kept these huge secrets from each other, and I can't even be angry at her because I have kept a secret from her as well, and that would be quite hypocritical, wouldn't it? And she held my hand. I felt very strange. I haven't really thought of wanting to marry some fuddy-duddy old man, no matter, even though I could probably just, sideline him very easily and live the life that I would want, but I didn't really want that, and now I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have someone around the house all of the time, and companionship, and maybe, some, would it be, I've always been very fond of Catherine, and maybe I'm a little too fond of Catherine. They'd say things privately about us. And I've always kind of, not listened to that because it's ridiculous. And maybe, they were seeing something that I wasn't seeing. And maybe it's nice and it just,
And at that moment that you finish that thought, I'm gonna spend the trusting in my mass persona, and then you're gonna hear. Do you need a handkerchief?
What? No. What?
Up from the trees.
What is trusting?
Trusting is for her tag, her reputation tag. So she's her masked persona is trusting or trustworthy, I should say. So she is using the resolve token attached to that to appear after the end of your conversation.
Oh, with myself.
With yourself. And,
Trustworthy, not
trustworthy.
trusting, which is a big difference in this situation.
Okay. What? Oh, what?
Oh, you sounded quite upset.
How long have you been there?
Long enough to see you troubled. I realized I had not chatted with you before, just by myself, so I came after you and saw you.
This was a little rude. Tiny
I'm
bit. It's all right.
I'm a bit of a criminal. Politeness is not always my best of schemes.
I had noticed that.
But I do try deeply. As trusting as possible. This is coming across.
You have turned out to be not quite as bad as I had thought you were going to be.
You as well. Are you sure you're up for this do-gooding?
What? Yes. I wish to make the world a better place, not to just enrich my own position in it.
Do you think that's what I do?
Yes, I think that is precisely what you do.
I mean, just a little bit, but that's not the whole point.
Seek your own amusements and that you enrich yourself, both monetarily and with clearly, gleefully.
I'm
in it for the lulls.
I will recant the tale that I told the dove about how I came to be this. And how it was a struggle, and I was a servant, and I was badly ruined by the people who had taken advantage of myself and others. And that, yes, I am mistrusting of the rich. I'm not mistrusting of how I use the riches, because I enrich those around me.
I suppose.
It's not quite a tale of giving to the poor, but...
You're not quite the dove, are you?
No.
Not quite. I mean,
no.
She's clearly in it to better all of society.
She's amazing.
She almost hates wealth.
Oh, she's amazing.
She is kind of amazing.
Yes. I do quite see the three of us becoming quite dear friends. If you decide to leave this place, we could go do some more crimey crimes.
I have had 2 offers this evening, both from very different sides of the moral spectrum. And to be honest, I'm quite at odds about the whole thing.
That is fair. Just know that mine comes with lots of travel, money, having fun, and righting the wrongs that the rich cause upon those who cannot fight against it.
By indiscriminately stealing the things that the rich own.
Yes, they don't need them. They can buy more.
Well, then that really isn't changing society at all, is it?
No, not when you help those that are underneath them see that they can do the same to them and not to be controlled.
All right, I just need to know. So in your ideal scenario,
Everyone is
who
is in
below
the world
stairs
of crime.
is just stealing everything from those who are above stairs.
Yes, why not?
I wanted to clarify.
It's really quite simple.
It is actually really quite a simple philosophy. And I am,
Steal from the rich.
yes.
Steal from the rich. And then
make
something,
yourself-
and then profit.
And what happens when you are the rich that one is stealing from?
Well, I can never be that rich. I keep spending it all and helping everyone else.
Oh, by spending it.
Well, the Thieves Guild does have a tax every year that we have to pay
You
to
know,
maintain
like-
membership.
5 copies of the Dresden Green. They weren't cheap.
Oh no, there's a lot of money that gets spent for one single crime.
You know, I don't really see the Dove as enjoying this in a long-term basis, given the fact that you are mostly reinforcing capitalism.
I think we have a bit of a misunderstanding.
Anyway,
To each is their own. They do the crime as they will, and they will spend the winnings from said crime as they will. I am not the informant that tells anyone whatever they shall do. I am merely here to show them that there's just another way.
indeed. I will consider your offer.
Indeed, it
Have
stands.
You said the 3 of us. Have you extended the same offer to the Dove?
I have.
Has she accepted?
She seemed quite interested.
Oh.
Again, very trusting.
Oh, all right then. Not that I have any interest in what the Dove does. I do not know her at all. Goodbye!
That was quite abrupt.
Take this and scurry off into the night.
To just yell up in the street, Sister!
Yeah?
Sister, these people are quite weird.
They're so weird. Can we go back to London soon?
Oh, I cannot wait.
Oh, there's a ball tomorrow night. Already stole my dress. I look great in it.
Yeah, which one did you get? Did you get me one?
Yeah, I picked 4 for you. I figured you can try on
Oh, you're
some
the
different
best
ones.
sister.
You might need a costume change. I didn't know.
Thank you. And then they just flit off.
Okay. So, with that, now we'll do our getting ready, the conclusions of their getting ready montages.
I actually would like to have a scene before actually getting ready to
Okay.
go to the ball or anything
Who
like
with?
that. Thomason.
What?
Eleanor and Thomason.
Perhaps the morning of getting ready for the ball, you arrive at the Hawthorne estate.
I suppose.
My life is an upheaval.
Could work.
I don't know how much earlier you needed it to be.
I'm picturing that that Eleanor was out walking and thinking and walking, and then it started pouring, and she found herself out front of
Does rain.
her old home.
Slightly bedraggled, very damp. On
Yeah.
the doorstep, a servant opens the door. Countess. Or sorry, come.
Go get Thomason.
Oh. Is she inside in the drawing room? Maybe make some tea. Great. And Thomason appears in the drawing room, where no doubt a fire has been lit.
Mm-hmm.
Eleanor,
I did write. I wrote 3 times. 3 times. Once I could assume it didn't get there. I was at sea very frequently. Ships are constantly being taken by the enemy. It's likely once, maybe even twice, 3 times. I wrote 3 times, and you got none of them.
not a single letter.
When one writes 3 times and gets no reply, one assumes that, well, what you assumed when you thought I didn't write, that I wasn't welcome, that I had burned that bridge and was no longer welcome in our home, in our family's home, in our family's
You are
estate.
always welcome here, Eleanor.
Yes, well, it didn't feel like it when you were the one not writing. So I cut you out of my heart. Quite frankly, assuming that I was not welcome, I assumed that Uncle Robertson was my family and no more. And there was no one else. And so I forged my own path completely. I didn't write anymore. I didn't offer money or anything. I took his name because I was alone, because I thought I would always be alone. Knowing you never got those letters changes that a little. But I did write 3 times.
I believe you.
She's still drenched. She hasn't bothered, trying
You've,
to...
offered her things.
she's just been pacing.
I believe you. And I'm glad. I wish that I had received them.
As
Cursed
do I.
weather, or pirates, or whatever. But for as long as this is the Crawford estate, you would always be welcomed here, Eleanor. And you will always be my sister. And I'm
When
I
I
am
left...
sorry for not having understood you, for not having made a better effort to understand you and what you wanted and to honor that, as I should have, as a good sister should have.
Thank you. Sorry I didn't leave a note.
You guys are killing me.
Always... I felt like you were always trying to push me out. That you were always trying to get rid of me. I mean, of course, when we were kids, you were always interested in playing with your friends and trying to get rid of me. And so it stood to reason in my perhaps a bit foolish mind that once our parents were gone, when you were trying to marry me off, that's what you were trying to do. Just get rid of me. Get rid of little Elle. But I was in the way. And so I left. And I'll be honest, I'm glad I did. I am so glad that I left. And not because of you, because of me. Because of who I am, and who I am now. You may call privateers pirates all you want, but I am proud of what I have done. I am proud of the service that I have rendered to our country, our monarch. I am proud of the blood that I have spilled, both mine and of our enemies. And I will always be proud of that. And hopefully, maybe, someday you will be too. But if not, then that's fine, but this is still no home for me.
You made a future for yourself. You stood up for what you believed to be right, for what is right. And there can be nothing dishonorable in that. I understand you have no need of my care, but I hope that at least we will both have need of each other's company, and perhaps we can mend what was broken.
Perhaps.
I would very much like to try.
I am likely leaving soon after the ball, but I'll come back and I will write.
Oh, about that.
What?
Oh. Eleanor, I think I have something I need to tell you.
I think at this point she takes a towel and starts drying off a little. Welcome, Raiders.
Citizenship. Take me off. Yes. You see, I, too, perhaps, I don't know, will be leaving.
I think as you say that, I'm gonna spend one of my resolve tokens.
Uh-oh.
It's really more just across. You see, Catherine like peeks her head and like, oh, I'm sorry you're busy, and then just closes the door and walks away.
Aww. Okay.
Are you spending one of the
I was-
resolves?
Yeah, I was thinking about spending one of the resolve tokens
Totally, yes.
to
I will
get her
use-
to enter the scene
Okay, if you want to spend let's spend the resolve token
of
Thomas and Catherine running away.
Running
I was
away
just gonna have
together.
her walk past. But she like opens the door. And oh, I'm so sorry. I
Oh.
didn't realize you were.
No, you can, please, go ahead, yes, come, yes, sit.
Inside.
Yes,
The
that's
room
fine, yes.
with you and your sister.
Yes.
Please,
You're not-
Catherine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Door pours herself some tea. Carry on.
Yes. So, tea, yes, thank you.
What were you talking about?
Eleanor, I am the Nighthawk.
Didn't realize you were going to say it out loud.
Yes, but Catherine already knows.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
What I said, why?
Because I was so frustrated with my inability to do anything to make the world a better place. As I thought, you had run off to all of your adventures, and I was a little bit jealous, maybe. And I thought, well, I could do something. I could do something right here. Try and both handle my obligations to the Crawford name, and also to try and make Bath of the world, or just a couple people's lives, better by righting wrongs and setting criminals right.
She was quite good at it.
Yes, this all makes sense, but
I'm a very
why wear a mask?
Because can you just imagine
Aren't you?
what? Yes.
No, you're you, and you're you, and you're amazing.
That's all well and good for you to think, but not all of us can completely thumb our nose at society. And quite frankly, Eleanor, please acknowledge at least that I don't think you would be quite so able to do it had you not bought yourself a peerage.
Which I earned through hard work and
I am
blood.
not saying otherwise, only that being a countess has afforded you a bit of freedom to do as you please. Now, at least, after you have earned it with your hard work, and I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing.
I believe you're saying society forgives my eccentricities because I am a countess.
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Did you hear something?
I think one of the servants. I suppose we should be out with it. I'm the dove.
Oh, you sure?
Well, you told her. It only seems fair.
Well,
And-
to be honest, I had a pretty good idea about that one.
Oh,
I
really?
thought you might have
Well,
figured it out.
How?
Yeah.
We've had a few conversations.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
Fencing lessons.
yeah,
oh, yes,
become a very good study when you fight the same person
yes.
repeatedly. Yeah.
I I like the secrecy. The ability to be more than one person affords a certain freedom
Well,
for me that I didn't have as someone under the thumb of my uncle.
oh goodness sakes.
Vile man.
Well, this complicates everything.
How so? I suppose you know what we're planning at the ball.
Oh, yes, whatever.
Do you know about the Viscount and what he's planning?
Yes.
Really?
I told her.
Yes.
You did?
As the
Yes.
dove.
When?
Well,
A
I
few
mean,
weeks ago.
to be fair, I knew. You all meet in the woods. Do you know how many hiding places there are in the
We
woods?
have a meeting tree.
There's-
That's really something we should
I'm
have
just
rethought.
saying, it's very obvious.
I mean, it's a little
Anyway.
hard to pass notes when we all have secret identities.
That's fair.
We should learn a
There are lots
cipher.
of trees in the wood.
Right.
How does this complicate things?
Oh, how doesn't it? Give me a moment. So, One Piece, Catherine. I believe you've recently lost both your patronage and your home.
In some ways, yes.
I was going to offer you both, not in any sort of nefarious sense, as a pupil of sorts.
Catherine was staying here.
Well, yes,
thought we were leaving.
I know that now. Well,
Maybe. I mean, we haven't really discussed it yet.
I told you it was complicated.
I was thinking of going to London.
That's the other complication, is there is someone that I believe wants you both here.
Oh, the Falcon.
The Falconer, yes.
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 Oh, yes. The Falconer has
I have no interest in that.
offered me his position. He seems like a nice sort of bloke, but I don't know.
He
Working
seems
for
to
the
have taken
crown.
it. I don't.
And it seems
The
to
crown has more money than it needs, and it fights needless wars over it. Empire
You
colonialism
really want to
business.
follow the sparrow. The
The
starling? Sparrow, starling,
Oh,
night bird.
so much as I can learn from her, and then I can better the world in my own way.
Were you just going to leave?
I was hoping you were going to come with me. Think of what we could do together.
Allow me to offer a further complication.
Life is feeling very complicated, Eleanor.
It's a lot of choices.
You are not wrong that you both need masks to do the things that you do. And that you also need money.
Oh, I suppose.
I have need of neither right now. And suffice to say, my future financially is likely secured for the foreseeable time. And so what I propose is that I help you both. Financially,
No
to
requirement to join the crown
none
or
whatsoever.
work.
We could still all go to London.
No, don't go to London.
Oh.
I've never been.
Filthy.
Why don't we go to London and then to Nottingham? I've heard the sheriff has a lot of money.
And I've also heard that he is a most despicable sort.
He is.
That sounds fun.
I accept.
As do I.
But first, we have a heist. And I've heard you have a duel.
Not yet. I already had one. I expect another. He's
He
a
had a
terrible man.
Between you and me, if he were to cease to be after the end of your duel, I don't think the world would be a worse place for it.
That seems to be
I
the
think,
likelihood.
I think he will deserve it. Cannot say for certain, but I suspect he would very much deserve it.
I think that's where we can probably see.
Boom! Tea and murder!
Scene. Anything else that needs to happen?
There was a lot to unpack in that.
So much.
You're welcome.
You showed up with like all of the suitcases and went boom.
Pew! Last
exploded.
episode!
Well, yeah.
All right. So with that, let us jump to a brief little description if anyone wants to. Catherine will probably dress like, she puts on a nice Regency gown, but underneath she has a pair of trousers. Her skirt is just wide enough that she can like hide her sword underneath. It works. It's movie logic. And her mask is sort of, tucked away
Instead
into
of
a
her
purse along with...
pockets, she's got a
Yeah,
sword.
no. She's literally probably cut a hole in one of the pockets so she can just draw the sword out from it.
And your fake gems.
And the fake gem is in the other one. She has the fake diamond. And she makes her way to the party, probably quite on time.
Eleanor wears a gown.
Ooh.
William holds
What
the
is
sword.
the opposite of scandalous?
Ring the sword.
Scandalous because it's
Ring
not
the sword.
scan-
The good
Okay,
sword or the
if we
sharp?
want to get into spoiler territory, I can explain. Under the gown, she's actually wearing a convertible gown, the skirts of which will tear away, revealing pants and a sword
Perfect.
strapped to her waist.
William brings you your selection of swords.
Yes.
You can select one.
Oh, we're going this way.
Actually, no, there's no sword. There is no sword
Yeah,
because she doesn't need one.
She's not being sneaky.
Yeah.
Harriet's going to arrive with her sister. They've hired their own coach. So,
I think Elsa would wear a gown that just is feathers and it's gaudy.
Oh, yeah, it's
and
gaudy.
It's so
and then
bad.
as soon as we get there, it's
Sparkles, there's a cape.
sister.
What? It's so pretty, look at it! I look like a fucking diamond!
Sister, I love you. You're wonderful.
Oh, do I need to lose the cape?
You need to lose the cape.
Shall I let it go?
Yeah, you don't need it.
Fine. She takes off the cape and the stole and
Remember that you can be at the party for a while, but then you have to take on that extra role.
I need to go be one of the servants.
I'm sorry.
It's all, and she lifts up her skirt. It's under here. It all fits.
Oh, that's my sister. And then
We
Harriet's...
leave the coach parked out back to get away
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, we'll not be leaving, very much longer after
Well, the
this.
getaway horses, I guess, probably left at the end of the garden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once we arrive as well, make sure to unhitch the other ones as we talked about.
sabotage. All the
Absolutely.
other carriages. Yeah, especially that falconer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you brought the extra box. Great.
Brought some spares.
Great.
I'm gonna plant this one on the Viscount. This is, I'm gonna get him well drunk.
Let's make sure we put those as
He's
well
the ether.
in the gift piles as well.
Yeah.
And pass them around and with the notes on top that says not to be open till later.
Excellent. Done.
And Harriet's dress, there's a hoop skirt thing kind of going on too. It's just filled on the inside with the fake ones. There's lots of them.
It's weighed down with
It's a
diamond.
reasonable amount. It's a reasonable amount. And then
Excellent.
they'll arrive and they'll go in for snacks or whatever it is.
Leopold.
He is just in what looks like a relatively dusty old suit because the one he got married in actually.
Still fits him? I mean, he's kind of old.
Yes, but he's also been active.
Yeah.
Fit.
The moths
a
haven't
dilf.
eaten it from
Yeah,
the
I know.
age of Charlemagne.
There's a couple spots here and there, but he does so on purpose.
I'm sorry, I really love saying that name.
What, Charlemagne?
Charlemagne!
Charlemagne. He's practically dead.
Yes. He goes unattended, not to cause any scandal. And he'll come with a big box of presents in hand, without Sir Thomas. This mysteriously left early without telling, and maybe some of the horses were out doing errands. So there's no way for.
I mean, that's not going
Actually-
to stop him.
Yeah, why don't you arrive with the Countess?
Okay.
Because they're known to be good friends and not more. so it wouldn't be terribly scandalous, and that'll stop Wallingford from joining.
Joining you, not joining
Exactly.
the party.
Yes.
He probably arrives with the Viscount out there, good friends. The Viscount gets a little tipsy one night and might let Wallingford in on some plans if he is interested in getting in on an estate or two.
Ooh, you know, I do enjoy a good power grab.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes,
Women are so stupid.
yes, you're correct. That's why I kicked that one out of my house.
Resolve token, the bomb goes off in the carriage.
I love that we've made them both such horrible, raging, misogynist villains.
You know, Wallingford, you remind me of a younger version of myself.
And then they
When
make
I was in your age, I was young and sprightly like that too.
Yeah.
You're going to give that countess a what for, aren't you?
Oh,
Teach her what it means to wield a sword.
I am indeed. Going to absolutely teach her a lesson.
Excellent. And then take them away. So, at the ball. It is a large estate. The ball takes place mostly in the ballroom, but a few other spaces around the house. There's a large gift of presents. There are obviously several, armed soldiers and guards there because, of course, at some point later in the evening, the monarch will be introduced as visiting. We'd probably say this is, I think it's the Prince Regent, but we're going to just continue to refer to them as the monarch.
The monarch.
And they. So the party will begin. There'll be some time. I know Leopold has some instructions to go acquire a diamond from some guards.
He's gonna go down in his civilian attire. And a flagon of whiskey.
They're actually, as you go down there, they're clearly getting ready. Like, they're packing it, they're taking the box, they're going to bring it upstairs to present it.
Gentlemen,
Hello.
I know that society. You are the society of, and I'll name some sort of esteemed security agency. I heard you were the best. Can I tell you a story? Please, I'm old, I understand. And you must cajole old people. I'll tell you a story about the stories of Charlemagne, if you will.
Yeah.
And I'll spend the next 10-15 minutes telling the old study story. Do a swap out, without even trying.
Like, as you're doing it. Do you pick the lock on the
Yep.
box? Actually, I think at that point they were probably going to carry it outside of the safe, so they actually unlocked it. Like, you wait just long enough for them to unlock the box, pull it out, be ready to bring it upstairs, and that's when you interrupt them.
Yep, and it looks suspiciously easy for him to do the bait and switch as if he's stolen before, despite being the agent.
Right.
You're done.
No, I was on the second Earl of, I'm sorry, I'm distracting you. I know this is a riveting story, but you must do your job. Perhaps later, after it's done, we can get to the third war, the fourth war, the fifth war, and the sixth war.
And they take the box and very hurriedly make their way upstairs. So you now have the first fake diamond from the box.
While that is going on,
The original fake.
Harriet is mingling around, chatting with everyone. I'm spending a resolve token to make this happen, planting those fake necklaces, diamonds on people just randomly, and as doing so, also just lifting whatever pocket watches, necklaces, anything that seems reasonable, and replacing. It's like a 1-for-1 swap out. Fake crap for something lovely.
Okay. You just swap out all of these really.
I'm having
like
a lovely.
you bought a large spectrum of quality of these. So the ones that you gave them were like the good quality ones from the Ivory, as opposed to the lesser quality
I
ones
might
from
have
the
stopped
Falcons
at
and Falchions.
Yeah, the Falcons and Falchions had a
Or the
knockoff.
shiny trinket.
Yeah, they had a knockoff because it was a late batch, but the
knockoff of a
shiny
knockoff.
trinket had some really lovely ones as well, but they were almost sold out.
So you're just pickpocketing your way around the party.
But replacing it with something equally as gaudy.
Excellent. I think as you're doing that, okay. So that's your what are other individuals doing? Do you...
Oh God.
No? What are you doing? What is this feather?
It was just there. I don't know. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I can't imagine why. Thomason probably arrived with Catherine.
Naturally.
the
And
I think there's a point like Catherine's like, do you want to take my arm? Your who's
it's fine. Just like,
they just
it's
they link arms and they walk in.
Yes. You know, mingle a little, talk with people, and then when it comes time to make the trade-off, knowing that she has to go make the trade-off, she kind of touches Catherine's arm and makes some kind of polite excuse to get out of the conversation. You know, oh, I must go powder my nose, and excuses herself off. And I need to stop.
Wouldn't she
looking at
know
chat.
though?
What?
Wouldn't she know
Oh
that?
yeah,
Where
but
exactly
they're
we're
in
going?
polite company, so
Oh,
she's
okay.
just
Yeah.
not gonna be like, excuse me, I need to go exchange a diamond now.
And so she heads off to sneaks off into a secluded, shadowy corner. You know, this whole plan, honestly, to her, honestly, truly, just seems a little bit like there's no possible way that she could really hide who she is. And she doesn't have to hide who she is from Dove. And she's feeling quite emboldened, actually, after the conversation that she had with her sister about how awesome she is. And so, you know what? She goes to the meeting place. It's like she can't change her dress in the middle of the thing. And she doesn't think the Falconer is, like, you know, not observant. So she just shows up at the meeting place without her mask on.
I think at this point, Catherine is now going and she's watching the Viscount because she knows he's going to be doing something, so she's got her eyes on him.
Thomason. Probably.
With or without?
Huh? Oh,
With or
it's without.
mask?
And
Without mask? Mr. Hawthorne, hello. Looking around like, oh shit, now I gotta get rid of him before the Falconer shows up.
You look lovely tonight.
Thank you so much, sir. And, you look fine as well.
Why, thank you. If I may ask, how was your evening last night?
My evening is going quite well, thank you.
And
Somewhat...
how's that sword? Does it wear heavy on your waist?
Well then.
Thomason.exe.
Has crashed.
Has crashed. Yeah, so she needs a moment to reboot from the blue screen. You are the Falconer.
I am?
I am.
Well, technically speaking, I am suspended. Scandalous, I know. And after tonight, I believe I would be retired. So, let's say I was a falconer. And you have a job to do.
Let me stop you there. You see, I think I am quite resolved to not be an agent of the Crown. I think that is not quite the life for me. But if I may make a small suggestion.
Please do.
You and my sister Eleanor seem to be quite familiar with each other. And she is already an agent of the Crown, and therefore I think not quite so.
It's either that or she's a pirate.
She works for the Crown, sort of.
Wobbly, it's fine.
She is engaged in,
Wobbly crown.
allow me to make you aware, very honorable business on behalf of the Crown and country, for which any sister would be proud.
You know what? I'm gonna spend one of my facilitator result tokens. Eleanor hears that. She walks past that room. as Thomason saying it, you may have this resolve token unless you don't want to accept it.
Excellent. I will need that shortly.
For which any sister would be proud, sir, and I will brook no argument. No, it's fine.
I suppose you do not know the full nature of me and your sister's relationship, do you not?
Sir, I do not wish to hear anything untoward about my sister and you and your relationship with her.
One, Anyways,
all I mean to say is that she is very good with a sword, and that she, I think, would be a far more appropriate agent for you, and perhaps maybe more interested in it.
I believe you need to hear what I'm about to say. Just for the full context of my conscience is hers.
All right.
We are friends, yes, and we have been knowing each other for a very long time. But ours is not purely a relationship of admiration or convenience, but one of the sword. You see, the thing that got her knightship and led her to the road of becoming a countess was a single act that caused me to be imprisoned for years, to lose entire company of men at sea.
I thought you liked her.
She is one of the finest swordsmen I know. She is headstrong, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to see the right of things. That is all true, but it's equally true to know that she gave falsehoods that cost many men their lives. And for that, she has owed me a mark for a long time. I tell you this because I believe in truth, which is why I became the falconer in the first place. That there are no such things as purity, either of nation or of spirit. It's a full picture. She is a good woman. She may be a better person than I am, but she has her flaws. And I know that you two are separated and are back together, but I would like you to know that her lifestyle as Privateer is a bloody one.
It seems to me that your lifestyle as the falconer is quite bloody as well.
Yes, I've been reflecting upon that.
Then, if she is amenable to it, I really don't see why it is that she would not make an excellent falconer. If I'm understanding what a falconer even does. Should she be amenable to it? I only mean to suggest that perhaps you would find more luck in extending that invitation than you have in extending this one.
Perhaps, though I believe that she is not a fan of subterfuge, which is the first thing the falconer. And secondly, there are wishes that I must fulfill that extend much beyond me or the crown. So, let's leave it at this. Keep the sword and the badge, and maybe sell it for a song.
I would not want to sell something so important.
It's just a sword and just a badge.
Well then, thanks for your worthless gift. I mean, have it one way or the other.
I was thinking about this a lot last night. In your old age, you reflect upon many years. So let me say these things.
You are 37.
Practically dead.
It's all right.
But in service to the crown, I have spent over a decade away from my loving wife, one who knew fully what I was doing. You know how many times I saw her during those years?
None?
4 times. Twice at port, and twice at furlough. We had plans, both personal and for the greater good. In an end, she's dead, and I am alone. And the crown assigned a new ringmaster. That is the fate of those who take on the
Who is
falcon.
this ringmaster?
I believe you have a friend.
I'm just saying, you know, you don't like the way things are done. Perhaps you should take the reins.
I think there's one more fitting for that role, and not as an agent. It'll be a story for later. Might ask your friend. And he walks away
All
and
right.
flips the fake diamond as he does.
Catch the box. Okay. That first trade-off happens. I think Shall we go to the Countess and Wallingford, or do you want to leave that for later?
Sure, that's fine. I figured the Countess is just, rubbing elbows with.
We can
People
also
there.
because I think at that point Thomason would probably bring. I mean, at this point the Nighthawk was supposed to pass it to the Dove.
Yes.
And they know each other.
Yes.
So does she just
That'll be a little easier.
slip it into her hands?
Yes.
I think before you jump too far, the real
Okay.
quick thing is like we're out wandering around, just picking and replacing. Sister,
Yeah. What?
it's that time. It's
I
time.
mean, she's dressed as a servant.
It's
She's got
time,
a-
sister. It's time.
It's time for what?
It's time.
What, don't
Gotta
have
go
it
do
yet.
the thing.
Which thing? Which
You have to go change it to the servant's clothes now.
I'm in then.
Oh.
She's like holding a tray. Can't you tell? Way less sparkly right now. Can I give you some wine, miss?
Sister, take off the necklace, sister. And then she grabs the tray and she's like,
Shoves it down her.
okay, go get the other diamond. And then here, take this. And
The one
she,
to plant on the Viscount.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've pulled around into a little bit of an alcove and I pulled like one of the rings of jewels that have been replaced. And I like kind of pack it up on its cloth and went, put this with the horses.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Gone. That's it.
Okay. Takes all of your stolen goods. When you come back to, we'll do this little part first. When you come back to Catherine, she's sort of conspiratorially will like walk you away and trade off the box of diamonds. She says, been watching the Viscount. I think he thinks he's stolen the diamond by now. And by he, I mean his servants, men, whatever he had infiltrate the place. He was in cahoots with the guards, probably bribed them. He has it in his possession, and the Earl is going to present it to the monarch. I think we might need to stop the meeting, assuming the fake has been planted on him.
Indeed. I would assume so as well. The Falcon did not seem like the sort of man who would leave a job half done.
Excellent. Well, if you don your mask for one more time tonight, you can meet me in the drawing room where the Earl will be.
Very
She'll
well.
Out to the Viscount.
Catherine,
Yes.
I had a brief thought.
Yes.
So we now have the real diamond, right?
I don't think I think there's something up. And she like looks at the box and she looks at it. She's like, "Do you think this is the real one?"
What is that little bird?
I'm going to spend a token and go, the one I gave you is a good one.
Okay. I was gonna spend one of her tokens for her to know that the Starling definitely stole it beforehand.
Okay.
That the thing is already gone. So we can kind of
we could spend the many fakes of the Dresden.
That is also true.
I think
There
that's
are
just-
so many things.
It's just a fact.
So you don't need to spend your resolve token.
Okay.
Just like, something tells me the Starling is already taking the real one. But I think she'll keep her word. We'll still get our share. So it doesn't much matter what happens to this one. But let's play along anyway.
All right then. I will meet you in the drawing room.
Excellent. I'll see if the Falcon or the Starling care to join us. Perhaps even the Countess. Although I think she has a duel.
A duel?
Oh. Yes, with Wallingford.
Oh my goodness, she's going to kill that man.
Bloody
Right
well
here at
deserves
the party. He does deserve it. I will see what I can do, and we will meet you there.
Excellent. And so she takes it, and she goes, she changes and puts upon her mask, and then she delivers to Elsa the fake. And Elsa takes it down to the end of the garden with the horses, and she's waiting there for a very quick getaway.
Thomason will find Leopold and just quietly convey to him what is happening and where they're meeting and if he would like to come along. And would probably also find a moment to at least let Eleanor know, even though she probably has other things to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
And has no way of knowing who the Starling is at
No,
this
that's
point.
true.
So cannot convey that message.
Although there have been an awful lot of coincidences. But yeah.
There has been. I think when the dove hands the box off, she tells the person she's handing it to tell the starling, assuming that they know of each other, that she is going to out the Viscount in front of the Earl and the Monarch in the drawing room with the lead pipe. No, I mean...
Good. I'm glad our brains went the same place.
I think...
I was thinking you needed somebody to stall a little, to buy a little bit of time, and so Eleanor was going to go and talk to
Wallingford. I certainly think
And-
that the party is getting a little bit restless while these backroom conversations are happening.
Yeah.
So perhaps we have a split scene where these two things are happening at once.
Fair enough.
Okay, do you want to go confront Wallingford then? Sorry. Maybe?
Sure,
Yeah.
but it which way depends on... That's fine. No, it's fine. So I guess we'll just do it the blunt way, as is Eleanor's way apparently. She'll go over to Wallingford and say, "I've heard two things about you, sir. The first is I've heard two things about you, sir. The first
I played Charles.
is
That's terrible. It's easy to confuse them.
The first is that we have another duel already. The second is that you are telling people that I cheated. As such, you have insulted my honor, and we shall have another duel."
We shall, madam. And he takes,
The crowd hearing the word duel just goes parts immediately, and there is a space cleared in the floor.
So, in the corner.
No, we have to do this outside.
Oh,
Blood
outside.
everywhere.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Has the
There you go.
monarch arrived?
blood on
the monarch.
dance
The monarch has
floor?
been was presented. Yes, the monarch has definitely been presented. It was probably while the mingling was happening, and then the earl was taken and whisked away into a back room by the viscount.
At some point, Eleanor definitely would have paid her respects to the monarch, having met him before.
Yes.
When she was first knighted, and then also with her peerage. So,
This
she's
is a lovely,
definitely-
positive exchange.
Yes.
The monarch is actually sort of like at some point gets whisked away by a servant into the drawing room,
Um,
and the crowd is all like, "Oh, I thought it was a room."
As they are beginning to prepare for the duel,
The servant's like, "Can you take yourself tired?"
as they are beginning to prepare for the duel, Wallingford, taking on an
I'm also
NPC named
taking-
Thomas Wallingford. When
Yeah.
I have Thomason Crawford was maybe an
Yeah.
error on my part, but that's fine because I like being him.
Also, really quick, I took the Countess Cheats at Duels token for
Ooh.
for using that as a reason to start the duel.
Okay.
We're pretty much out of.
How dare you?
Yeah, I think we.
You're welcome.
Burn through these rumors.
I
However,
was going to use the secret lover one, but the monarch doesn't have any legitimate children, so and he's a little old. It's kind of creepy.
Thomas is going to use one of his, if you will accept it, before the duel. He says, "Well, why don't we, as gentlemen, have share a drink before we engage in violence?" And he's picking up the drinks, and as he does, he slips from his cuff just a little bit of ether that he intends to have the effect of at least slightly dulling the senses of the Countess.
You can accept. You can accept with conditions, or you can reject it.
I am totally cool with conditions.
Yeah, she's not. She like this scenario so far is fine, but she isn't going to drink it, and I'll show you why in a minute. Is
Yeah,
that-
you can
okay.
fake it. You can do whatever the fuck you want. He attempts it though. You could even smell it if you want. I don't
no,
care.
she says, "Need a drink to calm your nerves." That's another token.
Oh, wow.
It is polite that.
I thought she.
So bear in mind when you use the tokens from the rumors, they're not yours. You're
Oh, okay.
spending those
Yeah.
tokens.
Okay.
There's tokens for you to spend. So
That's
that's
fine.
not one that you
Nope,
want to
that's
spend because you
fine.
didn't change the story.
But the one that I gave you is yours.
I still have enough. It's fine. Just making sure I can do this exactly how I want
So
to
like,
do this.
if you wanted like to slip him up while he's in the fight, like because he loses
Got
his
it.
nerve, that's when
No.
you would be using it to impact his story.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
I need popcorn for
I
this
had
moment.
actually intended to use it later, and then I was like, "Oh no, this is so smooth."
You can just
I'm
say
gonna
that
grab
aloud.
You will.
It's fine. We'll tie it back again later.
You're going to deny a gentlemanly drink.
I am. Yes.
You, ma'am, have no honor.
The same has been said of you. Shall we?
We shall.
William, my sword. She goes and gets. He already went.
He's literally
And he's
standing
like-
next to you. He heard the word duel, and he's go.
She puts a
Your sword.
arm on his shoulder as a camaraderie.
You've got this one.
You know what I mean?
Give
At
him
this
the
point,
gut.
over in the side, kind of on his own, is one Alexander Medencombs. But for the first time in his life, is not wearing a tweed jacket like he normally does, but instead a deep rouge, flowing cape with an ascot down there. Around him are several young men and women who he's telling stories to, and he goes, "A duel? I have always wanted to write about a duel, but first it must be music." And he runs to the string quartet and pulls one of the guitars and begins playing flamenco. Dun 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 dun.
I wish I had a
At this
flamenco
point,
song
Harriet
here.
in the room is like looking over and glares, but there's like a small little smirk of like, good, he's finally doing it.
So,
Make it extra.
so Eleanor says, "Oh, I had something now. It's gone.
Excellent.
Sorry, distracted. You, sir, have already proven you are without honor, and so I will not treat you as a gentleman, save to give you this last duel."
We shall see who will come out as the victor.
And with that, we shall begin the daring deeds phase. So, what to do? And there can be a conflict here between what you as a player might want to have happen and what your character wants to have happen. So let's have this from the perspective of your character, probably
Okay.
to start with, and then we can kind of negotiate from there. So, what does Eleanor want? What do you want Eleanor to want? I should say.
Initially, I feel that it is probably somewhat fairly matched, but Eleanor is a bit better. So she's not having an easy time of dueling, but she's not losing.
For a final outcome.
Well, for the final outcome, she's going to utterly humiliate him.
Okay, but not kill him. That's not
Oh
the
no,
intention.
and kill him.
Okay.
He's going to die. Yes.
humiliated.
She wants him to die. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. What do you want for Thomason?
Thomas.
Not Thomas. Fucking A. Thomas.
Yeah.
Wallingford.
Wallingford wants her super dead. He wants her like super dead and humiliated, and he wants to just like run circles around her and then to just like stab her through her heart and then possibly make some fun of her. Like when
Like
she's
she's
dying,
dying.
on
Okay.
the ground. Like
Okay.
that is what he wants. That is actively what he is pursuing.
So, these are very opposed goals, which is totally fine, as they should be in a duel. So we can choose to compromise down to something that happens. It could be, for example, that you would both be okay with. I don't know whether or not you'd both be okay with him dying,
I
or we
have
can just go straight
so
into
many
bidding
resolve
tokens.
tokens. So many resolve tokens for this.
Lizzie is super cool with him dying.
Okay.
Like, Thomas is not super cool with dying.
Yeah.
Lizzie is super cool with
Okay.
him dying.
Cool. So then let's put this in a. How many resolve tokens do you have?
7.
All right. Great.
He has 3.
He has 3. Perfect. You spend 4 resolve tokens, and you get to narrate the shit out of murdering him. The two of you together, please paint me this scene.
For a bit, they're dueling, and then she gives him a good slash to cause him to need to recover for a moment. Undoes a couple of buttons, and her skirts just fall to the floor gracefully, and everybody
Gasps.
goes. And of course, she's wearing pants.
Pants.
You are no proper lady.
And you are no
Mad.
proper sword fighter, though you are better than I gave you credit for. Ching, 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 ching.
Do you like cut his belt and his trousers fall down?
No,
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 not going
that's
for
what-
that sort of
that-
humiliation.
not yet.
No.
I'm
gonna
I'm
be
a
good.
swordsman of legend. I am an agent of the Regency. Regent. That too.
Gives him another
I-
slash.
That will not be bested by a woman.
And I think at this point is the conclusion
Yeah.
where she probably gives him a slash to one leg, pirouettes behind him, gives him a slash to another one.
Drops down to his
And-
knees.
And as he's falling, disarms him, slams it down onto the ground, and says, I've heard in some cultures they have ritual suicide where you fall on your sword. And he falls as she's holding his sword up.
And you hear from the crowd, from your admiral friend, Admiral Norbert Holden.
Yes, Admiral Holden.
Good job! Very excellent.
And then as he's clapping, like some other people sort of clap.
Clap
and
your hands. That's right, clap.
There's like titters and whispers, and some servants come and are like, there's another body, and like pick up the body.
It's quite honorable. Brings a drink over.
She relinquishes her sword, bows to the monarch.
Your uncle would be
Monarch
proud.
is not in this room.
Ah, okay. Well,
Your uncle would be proud.
Admiral, it's good to see you.
It is good to see you as well. I did not expect to run into you while you are dueling.
It happens.
Sorry, Wallingford's rubbing off on me. It's really bad.
He's very catching.
Unfortunately, don't make me kill the Admiral too. I'll do
I
it.
mean, it is good that you did not do this in front of the monarchy. That's-
I think you would have rather enjoyed it.
I might have
actually.
appreciated a bit of it.
And with that, we shall transition to the drawing room, where we have the figure of the Earl, somewhat elderly, sitting in a chair in front of the fire, while the Viscount is saying something to him, and the Monarch is looking aghast. Oh, actually, I think just the two of them would be having a conversation, so maybe the Monarch was in that room. Yes.
If we are going even remotely period accurate, the Prince Regent was known for enjoying entertainment. That
He
was
probably
what
was.
he was known for.
He probably was.
And that's why the Regency was what it was. So that's part of why I think he would have enjoyed that.
So he was distracted while the Viscount was blackmailing the Earl.
Yeah.
But he's brought into the drawing room, and at that point, and you get to the end of the Viscount, and the Earl is like, oh, I guess I must do this, or else I am shamed. And the Dove, is she joined
Yes,
by the others?
by the Nighthawk for certain.
Will burst into the room and say, "You can't do this!" And now I have to narrate all of the NPCs, but I will just vignette the scene, and she reveals to the Monarch in the presence, as well as the Earl, that the Viscount has been blackmailing him the whole time. She shows them the fake jewel that he has in his possession and convinces them that the Viscount must have already stolen the real jewel and sold it, simply to make the money and then to blackmail the Earl with a fake jewel in order to wed his daughter.
There
The
is
Monarch
simply
is
no
aghast, and at that moment casts down the Viscount, and then the Dove whisks away into the night.
Oh, she's quite good at that.
Could, like,
Just whisk
she
from the
comes
middle
back
of the
and grabs her.
room.
This is how you do it.
Yes. Whisk.
Would anyone want to say or do anything during that scene? Otherwise, she will largely narrate all of the revelations.
Yeah, I think I'm actually good for this one.
Just an internal. Yes, this is why I asked you to join. That's good.
And so we shall cut to
In Bane voice. Yeah.
we shall cut to probably the end of the garden. The Dove will wait for the Starling
Mm-hmm.
and try and meet with her, perhaps with the Nighthawk as well. Will you be there? She's like, will you come with me? Going to get...
Yes.
Can we
I
still
mean-
come to London?
Of course. You still have those papers I gave you?
Yes.
Good. Good. Here's an extra set. The coach will be waiting for you. Come with us now, actually. We have horses.
I think there's some business that needs to be attended to here.
Yes.
Some estates to be
Settled.
settled.
If you must. But here are the two horses will be over, and she tells you basically where to go to pick up the horses. And then, how to get to the rest of the way to London. Come. We will not be in London for very long. But we will wait for you.
And you have our share?
Absolutely. We'll need to go to London to fence all of these things. Cannot fence them here.
I'm sure you are already working on that.
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps some would say it is already taken care of and done.
Perhaps some would say that.
Some would say that.
What a curious little turn of speech.
Hush, sister!
Oh, sorry!
What a curious little turn of speech.
Leave it be.
Look, I'm not trying to cheat you.
No, I would not dream of accusing you of such.
Well done. And thank you.
To you as well. Have you seen the falcon, whatever that...
I'm sure he's around somewhere.
Well, I plan to give him good chase. Don't worry about
Last
him.
I saw him, he was kicking a body.
I think he spat on it.
That's fine.
New
That's
rumors.
fine. Collect the boxes, yeah?
He's a gentleman.
Yes.
Excellent. I'll leave you be. She runs off to meet... Sister, let's go!
Oh, we're going now?
Yes, we're going. And then they take off.
Cool. Alright.
The
They
scene-
ride into the moonlight, the moonset.
Oh, yeah, they're done.
That is
I
their
thought we
story.
were going with Eleanor.
Eleanor's just good to give us the money.
I thought we were going with Eleanor.
I don't think we want to... Do you want to be a pirate?
No, I don't want to
She's
be
like
a
already
pirate.
taken
Is
her
she
mask off.
going to be a pirate now?
She's going to be a privateer. That's what she means by a business contract. And they're like getting changed back into their regular attire.
This is a whole new world for me to adjust to.
We'll go to London and then we'll go somewhere else.
All right,
Maybe even to America.
together.
Yeah, posh.
Yes.
Yes, I would quite like that.
And she's going to very hesitantly lean in, and if Thomason doesn't stop her, she will smooch Thomason.
Smooching happens. Smooching is accepted. Oh.
All right.
Yay.
With that, we would conclude typically with a reputation and an epistolary and an upkeep, but those things aren't super relevant because it is the end of our story. So I will say we can do kind of an epistolary to round out if anyone has sort of a final letter or a monologue that they would like to deliver for their character as their epilogue.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to? I don't have.
You can go
anything.
first.
I think I
actually-
covered most of my stuff. So
I actually have two epilogues and
Yeah, go for
in
it.
a scene, but
Go for it.
one is just a short one, which is Alexander Partridge with his new book, The Dashing Duel. My life of witnessing the greatest sword fighter of history. And it's actually a semi-autobiographical tale of a coming of age of a young man to come into
no,
himself and also
stop.
witnessing the greatest sword fighter ever lived, the Countess Eleanor Sharp. It is a bestseller.
You
Okay,
get a
but by-
heart post.
By Alexander Partridge.
Okay, but the dueling part, that's
That's Eleanor Sharp specifically. The story is about him actually finding himself by witnessing the greatest fight in history.
see, I'm imagining
But
he
there's-
actually tags along as she on
Yeah,
her next.
yeah.
Like he becomes a writer on the boat and
Probably.
like
That would be
sees
amazing.
what sea
She
life is like.
becomes,
And
I
stuff.
spend the resolve token that we don't think we ever did, is Alexander's looking for muses. I think we already
Yeah.
used that one. But
That's, yeah.
he found his muse. Any other epilogues?
I can do mine.
Yeah.
It's basically she responds to her uncle in the affirmative, saying, I find myself unable to settle down as yet. I'm far too restless, and the sea calls to me. I don't know how far I'll go. I'm not remembering enough of the song, darn it. It's fine.
It's a good song, though.
So, yes, I will join you in
So
this
Come
contract.
what may, you'll
Yeah.
find a way.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Calls to me. See, calls to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that was basically it. I lost it. It's fine.
Okay, so after that evening, Harriet and her sister arrive back in London. Sister,
Yeah.
I am so proud of you.
We did good, didn't we?
We did amazing.
We did double heisting.
Double heisting, and they're just sitting on a mountain of royal jewels.
I think while she was
and-
dressed as a servant, like Elsa was like just stealing silver.
Oh, I hope
and
so.
Jewels.
I hope so.
She got a lot of people drunk.
And so we do all of the fencing, and we're getting our funds ready, and we hear kind of like a coach pull up. I'm like, oh, do you think it's them?
Maybe.
All right. Is it them?
Do you want it to be them? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it looks like it's them. I think
All right, go.
they're doing something in the carriage
Oh my.
Oh, nice.
with their faces.
With their faces.
With their faces.
Are they stealing things?
I don't know unless that's what you call kissing.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's fine.
consensual.
Go put on a tea. I'm gonna let him in.
All right.
So
Second
you
one.
both walk up to this pretty weird-looking, poshy, weird building. I mean, you're both kind of like set aside from the difference of, Bath to London. London is very dirty
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
very noisy and crazy. But you open up to this amazing little warehousey thing. It's not a fancy house, but it is a house of crime and planning crime and all
They
sorts
don't know
of.
who the Starling actually is. They were just
No,
given a dress.
but when you
and a dress.
when the door opens, you just see Harriet.
So you're the Starling.
Maybe. Come inside, and I'll
Right.
tell you in tale.
You know, there's so
on,
much that makes
Thomason,
so much
Thomason.
more sense now, and she's practically like dragged in the door.
And you're presented with your shares as. Actually, it's probably a little more than you were expecting. You were expecting a certain amount, and it's a pile
This is all the other stuff.
because there's all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And I said I would share equally.
Thank
You did well. Are you ready for crime? Are you at least ready to learn the ways?
I certainly am.
Excellent. And you?
I suppose there is something to learn from the Starling.
Sister comes in. There's a lovely drink to be had. There's dual personalities fighting over who gets to speak.
Sometimes it's more than two.
And then I imagine there's just a lovely kind of
It's good tea. It's a good tea.
yeah. There's a lovely montage over the next couple years of like
Stealing.
doing some museums.
Stealing gems.
There's
Capitalism, communism.
I think at some point the conclusion, the epistolary for the Dove / Catherine is just a headline in a newspaper. Rash of crimes throughout Nottingham. Charitable donations are off the charts.
It's
It's
and then
two separate headlines.
at the annual Thieves
Thieves
Guild
Guild
ball, there's just a lovely portraiture. They're added to the portraiture of the four of us, doing a thing, being crime people.
Anything else for Thomason?
And Thomason will have, before leaving Bath, settled her estate in trust in the names of both herself and the Countess Eleanor Sharp.
Oh,
And would most certainly have left and provided information for Eleanor so that they can continue to correspond as they go about living their individual lives of adventure.
Did you have anything else to add?
Yeah, there will be a letter, and it ends up in Eleanor's hands several months later. And it goes, "You answered the favor that I asked of you, a deep one. I thought it would satisfy me, but in the end, it gave nothing. Mary's not back. So Thomas is still dead, and nothing's changed. That's the sad truth of the affair. We were brought men when there are much greater affairs to the crown and to the dynasty of Great Britain. I think Mary was much wiser than I was. She had the long vision while I was always the agent of the moment. It's always right and proper for the notes of one to return to be burned, never be spread, but I thought a couple keepsakes might be appropriate. Along with this message, you will have all of Mary's notes around the world of every agent known to the crown, along with women of remarkable feats and abilities and skills. Do with it as you will. I do not want it in someone else's hands. The scene backs up then to one Leopold on a nice cafe in London as he's pinning the letter. And he goes, "As for me, I think retirement might be nice for some, but it doesn't really suit me. As they say, birds can never really change their feathers much. I think this is on to a new adventure. Be seeing you at some time. Your friend." And then in parentheses, "For real this time, for there's no more markers. Leopold Hawthorne." And as he closes it, a courier comes by with a letter. And he goes, "Are you sure you want to do this? This is the crown's money." And he goes, "Let them catch me," as he opens up and holds the dress in green.
I fenced it.
To him.
Probably. Look, it's a seller's
It's a buy
market.
seller's market. He fenced it. He bought
spent
it.
the crown's money. It was
Just remember,
fine.
do bad things.
Do bad things. And our camera closes in on a close up of the dressed in green sitting upon the table. And that's where we shall end our tale of sensibility and swordsmanship. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this evening. We will sign off. We don't have any more. Double check, quick refresh, but I don't think we have anything more to read out. So we will sign off with some reminders and announcements. And where you can find all these lovely people next. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's start over here.
Oh,
With
hi.
our crimey crimes, doing bad
Hi.
things.
This I'm Scotland, and I'm at level 2-3 on all the things on the internet, and I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for being awesome people to play with, and this is just utterly fantastic, and I will miss this show very much. But I won't miss all of you because I'm going to see you otherwise.
Don't worry, they're making another one, so we have at least one more manner of speaking.
Magics.
Just remember, keep up the crimey crimes. Just
Gay do crime.
be gay,
Gay,
do crimes.
GeekSpace does not endorse crime in any way, shape, or form.
The Starling endorses being gay and doing crimes. Other than that, you can find me
The
Monday
GeekSpace
nights.
just endorses the first.
Be gay. You can find me Monday nights on Eat, Pray, Kill, where I play Lucky, the luck dragon of sorts. And it's fantastic. You should watch it.
I hear Lucky has high spirits.
Lucky has very high spirits.
So high.
Some would say they're a little too high.
Oh, is it my turn or going this way?
I
Sure,
don't know.
it can be your turn. We'll do this table, and then we'll do this table.
Hi everyone, my name is Algernon Bolden. You can catch me, well, let's see, on Mondays doing Eat, Pray, Kill. Because this is the last time I get to play the straight man.
That's
More
true.
ways than one.
Yeah,
So
that's
many
true.
different ways.
But yes, you'll see me as Prey and a lot more sassy than this. Otherwise, you can catch me at Algernon Bolden or check out Harebrained Schemes. And we make games such as Battletech.
I think I've heard of it.
Rage.
Oh, cool. I will do that. Let's do over here. This
Oh.
way, and then I'll read it and I'll sign up.
And I am Lisa the Bold. You can find me on the Twitches and the Twitters at Lisa the Bold. This has been the last GeekSpace TV show that GeekSpace TV show that I will be doing for a while. This is definitely not the last that you have seen of me, but I am taking a little bit of a break from tabletop RPGs, despite many adorable little faces being like, "Oh, urban fantasy, like, oh, I fucking hate you," but you know, it's fine. I'll just
I
do
like
this
how you're like,
forever.
I'm taking a break, but literally, you'll
Literally,
be
however-
here next week.
However, next week I am doing this one little thing over on twitch.tv/Random Tuesday. I'm going to be reprising my role as Ranger Corvus, aka Raven, the Celestial Ranger who is gothic and angry and gay and amazing. And what?
We gotta flirt.
Yeah. And we're
Oh,
gonna-
I
there's
thought
gonna be-
I did not hear flirts.
There's gonna be flirting, and there's going to be evil vanquishing. In case you have never seen Celestial Rangers before, it is a loving send up of Sailor Moon, and some other, like magical girl shoujo anime tropes and things, because we all love them. But also, they are absolutely rife for making fun of. So that's what we do. It's going to be next week. What time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Twitch.tv/Random Tuesday, hosted by lovely GeekSpaceTV in the same space. You'll be amazed. You should watch it.
Hi, I'm Anna Geeks. I do stuff on the internet, and that's about it. I also do stuff off the internet on Anna Geeks AFK on Instagram. And that's really about all I got.
I have one more thing to say before you do your thing.
Yeah, go do it.
Also, I just wanted to say a little bit slightly early, only by like an hour and a half, happy anniversary to my husband. Alan over there. In case you didn't know that we're married. And as of tomorrow, we're married for 9 years. And we're going to go have dinner. It's going to be amazing. And I love you very much.
Thank you for making it gay.
Okay. All right, we had a donation from Hype Hooray with 1337. Thank you all so much. I loved this short tale so much. Hashtag be gay, do crimey crimes.
Yeah!
And I'm Random Tuesday.
GeekSpaceTV.
You can find me here many nights of the week, but you can also find me tomorrow night over on Geek and Sundry, running Weave Society at 9:30 p.m.
Yay.
Pacific time, which segues into our reminders. We don't have a show here on GeekSpace tomorrow night, but we will be hosting Geek and Sundry. We will then be coming back next week with Eat, Pray, Kill on Monday, and the premiere of Worlds Beyond. Our Cypher System RPG based on the strange setting where our intrepid explorers will be venturing into alternate dimensions and realities and trying to stop the world from being consumed by massive planet-destroying monsters. It's going to be great. In the meantime, check us out on Discord, follow, catch up on anything over on our YouTube, hashtag GS fan art. If you have fan art of any of our shows, we love fan art. We'd love to include it in our fan art slideshow. And thank you again for all of your donations that came through. They are incredibly helpful and wonderful. And if you would like to do that on a recurring basis, you can check out our Patreon. The link will be in chat, and set up a monthly recurring donation over there. So with that, we will see you next time. Be gay, do crimey crimes.
Bye.
Space TV does not endorse doing crimey crimes.